All right, we're live, bro. We're live. All right, we're back. We're back. Welcome to another edition of Red Cup Rants. I'm your host Dre, and I got one half of my squad here. I got Mad Mike here. Dex is doing his thing. He's going to take off for a couple weeks because he got to handle some family things. So it's going to be Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen for the time being.
Ooh,
So,
you can beat Jordan.
or Shaq and
Be my
Kobe,
favorite player.
or Shaq and
Or
Kobe if you
Shaq
want
and
to do
Kobe.
that.
Or
Or
Shaq
Shaq
and
and
Kobe.
Kobe. Right. So how you feeling, man?
I'm pretty good, man. I watched these damn taxes come, so I can start paying fucking bills.
I
I can tell you that
don't even want
much.
to talk
I
about. I
think
don't even
everybody.
want to talk about no taxes, bro. I don't even want to talk. I don't
I
even want to
got
talk about no
confused,
taxes,
bro.
bro. Everybody talk about I got rich people problems. I ain't got no rich people problems, man. No, I don't want them problems, bro, at
Hey,
all.
if you paying somebody, if you paying somebody, regardless of the fact.
I'm trying to tell you, boy. Uncle Sam always got his hand out when he see how much always got his hand out. Like, yo, give me that. I need that. I need that. But it's been kind of a. I don't want to say it's been a slow week, but it's not as a lot of stuff that we've been talking about. There are a few things we are going to talk about. But the first thing we're going to talk about this execution that happened on Saturday night. Uh,
Man,
I don't even know where to start. Oh, I do want to know where I start. Thanks a lot, Wilder, for costing me $1,000 on you. I did drink the Kool-Aid because I thought that you was going to learn from the first fight that you was a knockout away from losing, because if it wasn't for that knockout, you would have lost that fight. I thought you was going to shape up after you almost lost to Ortiz, and you didn't shape up after that. And then we saw what happened Saturday night. We saw pretty much an execution. I mean, I ain't really got nothing to say. I mean, he's making excuses about his costume, but that costume didn't have nothing to him doing with him getting his ass whooped. You know what
I
I'm saying?
mean, he
Trash.
looks like a
Yeah.
buster, man. He
Yeah.
sound like a buster, man. Straight up buster. I can't respect any man, especially you did all that shit talking that you did. Like you've been talking gang of shit for we talking about years. Talking about he's the biggest, best, and you better
Don't
than
forget
Mike
the
Tyson.
Mike Tyson comment he
The
made.
Mike Tyson, like you better than Mike Tyson. Like bro, like you can't come with excuses. Mike didn't make any excuses when he got his ass knocked out by Evander Holyfield and not Evander Holyfield, but
Buster Douglas.
Buster Douglas and Lennox Lewis. Like he got murdered by Lennox Lewis. Like he got murdered by Lennox. And Mike did not make any
Never made an
excuse for
excuse.
that.
Never made an
He,
excuse.
he
So
took that shit. He took that. So like for me, I always say the heart of a champion comes down when you see you know when you are a champion when you have your first loss. That first loss comes, then you know what type of person, how great he is, the type of person he is. And for me, I was totally surprised. I did expect a good fight, and I did not get that.
nobody
For
did.
me,
Nobody did. And consider the fact that Fury had his, like you said, we talked about him, Mike. You say he had a lot of mental issues and he had a lot of demons he had to fight off. So the way that he's come back now and the way he like dominated Wilder, I'm like, wow, like. And Iron Mike said his best. How embarrassing for
man,
Black people.
boy, man,
Man, look, hey, I was on Twitter the other day. And they had a picture of Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, and they had Wilder on the ground. And somebody said they're going to hang that in every white barbershop in America.
yo, man, I did. Oh man, these memes have been absolutely hilarious, bro. I like. I don't see. I don't know how he come back from this. Like even if he wins the next fight, he's been totally outclassed by the first two fights. It was only
Yeah.
a lucky punch. Like I tell people all the time, like how can a boxer have it's luck? Why is it luck? I've been saying this all, and I'm gonna have Dre. You might disagree, and a lot of people may disagree. But when you're totally outclassed by several, well, not just one boxer, several boxers have
Because
told.
you remember last time we had the discussion. I told everybody that Wilder
Yep.
was losing for that punch against Ortiz.
Mm-hmm.
If Ortiz would have stayed on his feet them whole 12 rounds, Wilder was going to lose that fight. I
He's gonna
told
lose
you.
that fight. Mm-hmm.
But here again, I drank the Kool-Aid, so I thought Wilder was going to be like, you know what? Let me learn how to box. But that first couple rounds, I was just like, he didn't learn nothing. He didn't learn anything.
And you know what's the
And him and Fury, they both was trying to go for the knockout. But then, as you saw in the later rounds, Fury started switching style. Wilder was still trying to look for that haymaker, lucky knockout punch, and it never came because every time he loaded up, Fury was countering, moving side to side. I've never seen a man that big move like that. Like seriously, like yeah.
that's what people get everything wrong when it comes down. Like they think Fury is not big. Like this is what we know. We followed the game for a long time. We know Tyson Fury is a very good boxer. Like just saw what he did to
Yeah,
Klitschko.
you see the Klitschko fight when he like easily beat Klitschko. Like yeah. I mean,
This dude is
I drunk the Kool-Aid because I really thought Wilder was gonna, you know what I'm
learn
saying?
from
He probably really was gonna learn from the Ortiz in the first Fury fight, and it looked like he never learned. Like I get it, he's a power puncher. He has power. Everybody knows that man's got lethal punching power. But if you can't use it, then you're pretty much useless. Like Dex said a couple times. He said boxers always outclass the power puncher. Like look at. I mean, as much as we talk about how great Tyson was when he came out of prison in '96, you can see his skills kind of diminished. Like yeah, he was still destroying people, but he wasn't the same Tyson that went into prison.
it was like watching
And you saw what happened in the Holyfield fight when Holyfield actually started the box instead of going toe to toe with Tyson. You saw that. So I'm not saying that was the same thing in that Wilder Fury fight, but it was pretty damn close. So if I'm Deontay Wilder, I'm gonna do some serious soul searching to figure out what I need to do to switch it up. He did exercise his rematch clause, but I'm concerned, man. I'm concerned if he shows up to that third fight the same way he fought this second fight. It's gonna be an easy watch for Fury, man. Real easy watch. Like it's not even gonna be. Honestly, I think it'll be worse than the second fight. Honestly,
I just don't know what he can do. Like he's 30 years old. 30 years old.
He's 30. He's like 31, 32. He's like 31, 32. So he got a couple years. He still got a couple years.
What can you learn at 32 that you haven't already learned?
Miguel Cotto was like, he was 36, 37, and then he switched up and started training with Freddie Roach, and then he switched. He beat Martin. He did beat Sergio Martinez with the new style. So I like I said, he needs to do something because if he goes in with that same game plan, I'm telling you, that third fight is gonna be worse than the second fight. Trust me, it's gonna be worse. So like I said, I'm still a Wilder fan. That's my man, 50 grand. But dog, stop with the excuses. You got your ass whooped, and you really need to do some soul searching to figure out what you need to do. Because you say you're gonna fight this guy, and I'm pretty sure Fury's gonna probably do the same thing he was doing the second fight. So
he's gonna use his big body. He's gonna use his big body, and that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna use his body, and he's gonna lay on him, and he's gonna do the rope a dope.
Pretty much style.
Yeah, that's it. That's what he's gonna do. He doesn't need to do anything. He's already a better boxer. What I would suggest he do is Wilder. For one, he loads. He just what he does all the time. I think this is he has too much confidence in that right hand, and that might sound crazy, but he just has way too much. He doesn't have any other moves outside of I'm gonna stand back like this.
And wait for the opening. Wait for the
opening. Bro, you can't do that against real box. You can't do that against a real boxer like Fury. You cannot do that. And if he wants to win, what he's going to have to do is adapt. And you've heard Lennox Lewis say this many times. If you're going to load up on it, wait for that one punch, bro, use your jab. Why are you not using your jab? It's like he's just waving. I mean, feints are cool. Feints are cool, but feints are only they're only as good as your jab is. Feint is absolutely worthless if you're not throwing your jab out. That's what a feint is at. The feint just to kind of get him thinking about it coming. It's not coming. Get him second guessing himself. That's what feint. This is what feints is about. That's what feints is about. To kind of get him second guessing. He's not. If you're not throwing the jab, like what's the point of even throwing it out? Like he has to do something else besides stand on his back foot and waiting for the open. You're gonna get murdered by a guy like Klitschko, but Fury. If you can't, I'll just say this: you cannot sit back and just not do anything. Not again. This guy's this dude came in at 270.
That's the heaviest he's been.
That's the heaviest that he's been. That should tell you, that right there should have told you what he was going to do. He's going to come at you, and he's just going to lay on you. Use his body. Why are you not running away from him? Tiring the guy out that big. Why are you not doing what Floyd Mayweather does? Run around the ring, and Muhammad Ali doing the Ali shuffle. The rope-a-dope. Like, bro, like, what are you doing? Right. He's 270. It's not rocket science. Why are you not doing anything? So this, I don't understand. I really don't understand Wilder. It does remind me.
You know what? I think the fact of the matter is he just depended on his power too much, and he was looking for that opening. That's how I feel. I just feel that he was looking for the opening, and it never came, and he couldn't adjust. That's why I blame his corner as well, because his corner.
That's what I was about to say.
And you saw Fury's corner; they was like, "Yo, you got the man. This is what we're going to do. A, B, and C. Knock this dude out. He's wobbling. Get him now." And I didn't see that from Wilder's corner. I saw they was just kind of like, I don't know what you got to land the power shot now. I was like, the power shot's not coming, man. You got to tell him something else. Tell him like do something else. And when Wilder went down the first time, I was just like, that's it. I could feel my $1,000 floating. I could feel my $1,000 floating away at this point because he never adjusted. He never did. He never adjusted. And when Fury was beating on him like that, you could see the look of the passion and the look.
He was terrified. He was terrified. He was terrified. I've never seen him look that scared. He was. I don't give a damn what nobody say. That dude was scared of. Why I want to say Klitschko? I guess he's big like Klitschko, but Fury was. He is a big guy. That dude is big, and I don't think.
That's the crazy part about it is he's big, but the dude moves like a middle line. He moves like a middleweight. He moves like a middleweight. Like the way he was punching Wilder at so many angles, I was just like,
wow.
I've never seen that before. I think the only time I seen somebody move that nimble like that was Lennox Lewis. That was the only time I seen.
Lennox Lewis.
Maybe you can put Klitschko in there. But I've never seen anybody like that except Lennox Lewis, who was big and tall but can move. That's the last time I seen a heavyweight like that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So at this point right now, we're at a crossroad right now. Wilder's pretty much got to do some soul searching. Fury right now, to me, honestly, is probably the best heavyweight in the division right now. And then there's this guy who just got his belts back. Now all of a sudden he wants to fight Fury now. Joshua said he wants to fight him. Honestly, I think that'll be a good fight. I think that'll be a good fight. But honestly, if they was a fight, I think Fury would beat him too. I think he would. Because Joshua, he can box. Yeah, he can box, but that chin is suspect. You saw it in that Ruiz fight. That chin is suspect.
I was thinking that. That's exactly what I was thinking.
The way that Fury took out, I'm not gonna say he was, Wilder. The way he took Wilder out, and I told everybody that Joshua was ducking Wilder because he was scared of that power. The way that Fury took out Wilder, I think that Fury would do the same thing to Joshua. And I was talking to my homeboy. He made a great point, and I kind of agree with it. If Fury beats Joshua like he beat Wilder, he needs to be in the conversation as a top 5 all-time heavyweight, or top 10 at least.
Easy.
If he does. So we'll see what happens because in the words of Brian Jones, we're gonna see what Chicken Hearn does with Joshua if he really wants to fight Fury.
Right. Right.
But I think with Deontay, that picture is like, hey, my son said his lip looked like an F-16. I don't know where that came from, but it kind of made me laugh a little bit. But with that being said, I don't think Wilder is done as a boxer, but I think he's out the heavyweight picture for now because he pretty much got beat really bad. So he's probably gonna have to wait his turn until he gets another heavyweight shot, unless by some miracle of Jesus he beats Fury in his third fight, which honestly I don't think he will. So if he does lose to Fury in his third fight, he's gonna have to wait his turn because it's pretty much going to be Fury versus Joshua if they want to have that. Right, but it probably won't happen because Wilder will probably be first in line because he is an ex-champion, so he has the right to get the first crack at Fury. But if it goes anything like that second fight and Wilder doesn't improve anything that he learned, that third fight's going to be just as bad as the second fight, or not worse, honestly, to me. So, but with that being said, we're gonna move on to the next subject, the Kobe and Gigi memorial. Yeah, that was man. I'm gonna let you add this one, Mike. I'm trying to get my thoughts together on this one. What do you think about it? I thought it was a beautiful memorial. They did have a private ceremony for these guys at the before the memorial and stuff, but it was very beautiful to me to recognize a great person like Kobe. Yeah, I had my moments with him. I did kind of diss him a little bit because I thought he was being too much like Mike. But kind of towards the end of his career, I kind of started respecting him more because you could kind of see him kind of relax a little bit and just enjoying the ride. All the stars was out there. I know a lot of people are making a fuss about if LeBron was there or not, but that wasn't the concern with me. My concern was the tribute for both him and for Kobe and Gigi. What do you think about it? What do you think about the ceremony?
Well, let me give you a brief background of just my thoughts on Kobe. Mm-hmm. I pretty much thought exactly the way that you did about Kobe. I really couldn't stand Kobe. Not going front. I could was trying to be like Mike, which he was, but
yeah.
Now that you think about it, in hindsight, like I said, we were around the same age, Kobe, whatnot. I think now we all have our idols.
Right.
I'm the type of person, I was an Ali. I love Ali. I love Pop. I love, a number of guys, but idolize Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, those guys. And what if I was a basketball player and I patterned my game after those guys? What if I was a boxer and people? I mean, Larry Holmes got so much heat for trying to be like this guy was Muhammad Ali.
Mike Tyson.
Man, he got so much heat. Like he loved Ali, and he got so much hate for it. And I never understood that until I take a step back and I look at Kobe, and it's the exact same thing. Larry Holmes was a great champion in his own right, and he looked exactly like Muhammad Ali. His game was almost exactly like Muhammad Ali, and Kobe was Michael Jordan, and I couldn't stand it. But the more that his game grew, the thing Kobe and Shaq, you have no choice but to respect this man. When I tell you, look, I remember one game that put it over the top for me, and this guy had, and Jesus Christ, like, the more I think about it, it's crazy, man. I've never seen anybody finish a basketball game on a torn Achilles. Never. I've never seen anybody.
Showed you how much you love. Showed you how much you love the game.
Dude, that's like that right there, bro. A sprained ankle. I'm not doing anything on a sprained ankle. This dude is out there shooting free throws. Okay, hopping to the free throw line, and this dude shot 2 free throws, and he hit.
Yeah,
he hit free throw. Hit the free throw.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you cannot help but to love that man. Even after Shaq, the Shaq and Kobe still end up winning. Was it 2 championships after that? After Shaq,
he went back to back after Shaq left. He went back to back, which is kind of I think with the Kobe and Shaq thing, that's probably one of the biggest what ifs. If they would have stayed together beyond the beef and the stuff, I think they would have won way more championships. That whole 2000 that whole decade, I think the Lakers would have won at least 6 or 7 championships off of that alone if they would have stayed past the petty. They easily would have won. Because I said it before, they're in the conversation as one of the best duos. I got them number 2 behind Scotty and Mike. I got them number 2 behind Scotty and Mike. But so but like I said, that's one of the biggest what if questions in basketball. If Kobe and Shaq would have stayed together beyond the pettiness and the beefing, they would have won way more championships because you never seen a guy like Shaq that could dominate in the paint like that. And then Kobe was starting to blossom. Kobe was starting to blossom into the player that people knew he was going to be. Mm-hmm. But like he said, Kobe said it, Shaq said it, Phil Jackson said, when you got 3 alpha males trying to be the man, shit happens. So, it's unfortunate that it happened, but Shaq won another championship down in Miami, and then Kobe got 2 more. So, but with that being said, as far as the memorial went, it was a beautiful service. My man Mike got up there. MJ got up there. He said what he had to say. But he kind of joked a little bit, talking about he about to have another crying Jordan meme. So that was kind of funny to me. Yeah, that was kind of funny to me. So that was kind of funny because he knew it was coming. As soon as he started crying, I was like, "Oh, there's gonna be another." He knew it was gonna happen, so he had to put that out there because it was gonna happen. But to see Mike go up there and then his wife, I know she hurt right now. To lose a spouse and a child at the same time, bro, I couldn't even imagine. I'd lose it for real. But the way she went up there and she pushed through it and she got her thoughts out there. Because I thought a couple of times she was gonna literally like break. I'm pretty sure she had a lot of breakdowns behind closed doors, because it's still kind of fresh to her. But the way she like kind of stood up there and she was like, I'm gonna say this, and the way she talked about Kobe and Gigi, you know what I'm saying? I'll tell you right now, a woman's strength is incredible. That's probably like one of the greatest things I've seen walking this earth. I made a post about it last night. She had tears in her eyes and still powerful of the fact that she talked, because I know if it was me, I had to get somebody else to talk to me because I couldn't say nothing. I'd be boohoo crying for real. So I gotta applaud her for doing that, because I don't know, I couldn't imagine losing a spouse and a child at the same time. I couldn't.
I honestly don't know. And I honestly feel bad for not only Vanessa but Shaq. And like I know they're eating him alive because like they wasted a lot of
good
time apart years just on dumb shit. Like that has to be eating him alive. Like you guys broke up over something crazy, egos. I want to be the guy. You want to be the guy, and next thing you know, Kobe's gone. Like that. Like I don't wish that type of pain on anybody, man. Like that has to be eating Shaq alive. But everybody down to Rossi, I got to give her a shout out for
Shane LeBron. I know. Shane LeBron.
Oh, wait,
Soon
no,
as I said,
you know exactly what I was saying.
soon as I saw that, I was like, Mike gonna talk about it on the show. I saw the shade she did.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Hey man, I mean, it was a couple good fans in there. Diana Taurasi had one, Mike had one, but my favorite one was Shaq. Shaq and Kobe conversation when he said, "Hey Kobe, Kobe, there's no I in team," and he was like, "Yeah, but there's an M and an E in that motherfucker." That shit had me rolling. That shit had me laughing. Hey, whoever out there know how to do some t-shirts, put that on a shirt and I will buy it. Put that on a t-shirt.
You got that right.
Yeah, but with all that being said, it was a great service. All the stars was out. It just shows you how impactful that a guy like Kobe was to the game and inside and outside the game. Yeah, he didn't really let a lot of people into his personal life, and I understand it being a superstar like that of that magnitude. You don't want everybody in your business, and I understand that,
right.
Which is why I'm kind of glad that Facebook wasn't around when Kobe was blossoming like he was, because it would have been a lot bigger than what it was. Like, you see how social media gasses up these athletes now. Just imagine if Facebook and social media was around with guys like Mike. It would be 10 times bigger than what it was. Like, so like I said, I send my prayers to Vanessa. I know she's going through it. She's gonna need some prayer and a good support system because she's gonna need it. So and then I know the way they talked about how Gigi was gonna, and I think Gigi, if she would have, because she was gonna go to UConn, and I'm pretty sure she was gonna ball out. And the way that Kobe spoke about her before he passed away, talking about she was gonna be better than him, that's scary. Just imagine what she would have did. She probably would have broke a lot of Taurasi's records, and then she probably would have got to the WNBA and pretty much dominated. So that's another what if question. What would have happened if she was around for that? But we'll never know. So it's just one of the things that's going to be in folklore and urban legend type things. But the way that people spoke about both of them, that says a lot. And whenever I go to LA to visit, I'm definitely going to check out those murals. So.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm definitely gonna go and see that. So, all right. With that being said, my producer, what's next on the agenda? Oh, speaking of LeBron, I'm gonna let Mike handle this. I'm gonna let Mike handle this one because I'm intrigued. Honestly, I'm intrigued by the matchup, but I know Mike's got other concerns and what he wants to say. So I'm gonna let him have that one for a minute. So go ahead, bro.
Man, y'all know damn well I don't like talking about no damn little queen, man. What am I gonna say? What am I gonna say? I'm just gonna sound like a hater, man. All right, that's what I'm gonna say.
Man, this is why we have Red Coat Rants. We're not ESPN.
LeBron ain't playing no defense.
Yeah, I mean,
LeBron ain't gonna play no defense. He ain't gonna play no defense. He gonna get a behind the back block. He gonna get behind the back rebound. He gonna get behind the back steal. He's not gonna play no man to man defense. He's not gonna do any of that. So prepare to see Zion with like 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists or something like that. LeBron ain't gonna play no defense. And Zion, you know damn well he ain't gonna get. This is still LeBron's league. There's still his ref. There's still his court. He gets to take off. And it's called load management, right? Whatever the hell that means. Look, I am intrigued for this. All right, I am intrigued just from the standpoint of Zion. Like, I'm a Duke fan. I've been a Duke fan for a long time, but I just want to see what he can blossom into. We already know what LeBron is, but if he reminds me of Zebo.
That's a good comparison.
Zion reminds me a lot of Zebo. He has the exact same game, the frame. He's left-handed. Like, he is Zach Randolph, bro. Like that's who he is. A more athletic Zach Randolph. And if he can continue to, I think he needs to focus on his mid-range game. If he focus on his mid-range, because I don't think he'll be a consistent three-point shooter. If he could work on his mid-range jump shot, this dude will be unguardable. Like this dude is already athletic free. Already athletic free. If he gets that mid-range jumper, like hey, what's his name? Play with LeBron. Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh.
Chris Bosh, yeah.
Chris Bosh. If he gets that Chris Bosh mid-range jumper, there's nothing you can do with him. He's just gonna pump fake, take your ass to the hole, and highlight special. That's what he's gonna do. All right, that's what he's gonna do. So as far as that is concerned, man, I'm not really. We know LeBron ain't gonna play no defense. He's gonna pass the ball to AD. He's gonna pass the ball to everybody else in the fourth quarter. He ain't gonna play no defense. He's gonna do what he does. So
you saying he's not? He's not gonna do it at the end of the bargain night.
It's gonna be LeBron. It's LeBron, man. Let's just say that it's LeBron. It's gonna be the same stuff from LeBron. Nothing different. Oh, let me say something about that little whack ass game the other day too. That little whack ass shit in the fourth quarter. They really tried to get. They really tried. Boston was playing their ass off, and then the refs just came out of nowhere. And somebody had the nerve. Who the hell had the nerve to say LeBron was the best closer in the game? Like, who the hell said that? I forget where I saw that. I saw it from somewhere, but somebody said LeBron James is the best closer. Closing what? What the hell he closed?
Close them doors. He be closing them doors.
He closed. I better learn how to close a free throw.
Yeah. Well, I will say this about I'm actually intrigued by this matchup tonight because we all heard the comparisons between Zion and LeBron because everybody talks about how LeBron pretty much changed the game as far as being a generational talent because with the size and the speed and the power and stuff like that. And then when Zion came along and you saw what he did at Duke, pretty much doing the same thing LeBron does. You know how the media and the fans start comparing people. So I'm intrigued by this matchup tonight because, I would like to see him go one-on-one, but, maybe the coaches will probably have other ideas. So we probably won't see that. But I would love to see it because I'm pretty sure, just like I said it on my post, it's the old line versus the young line. You know what I'm saying? LeBron's not going to be playing in the league much longer. And then Zion's probably going to be the face of the league if he stays healthy and kind of slims down a little bit. He will be the face of the league. But there's other storylines in there. Brandon Ingram, who was a former Laker, Lonzo Ball, who was a former Laker, Anthony Davis, who's a former Pelican. I mean, it's a bunch of storylines there. So I'm actually intrigued by this. And then also, the Pelicans are in the running for the 8th spot in the playoffs. So I was talking to my boy Joe B earlier today, and the powers that be are going to try to push this Pelicans into the 8th spot because the Lakers are the number 1 seed, and they're going to try to push.
You know what's coming.
So they can have that dream matchup of seeing LeBron and Zion go at each other for 7 games. So you know how it's going to go. But there's one person out there that I really feel sorry for in all this. And that's Ja Morant. I feel sorry for him because this man has been balling out pretty much the whole season. And he'll probably get screwed out of Rookie of the Year because of the way Zion's playing.
Oh,
I think he's going to get screwed. It's unfortunate that it's going to happen because Ja's been balling. I watched a little bit of him last. He only had 16 points last night, but you can see the potential there for Ja to be a superstar. He's not a superstar yet. He's a star, but he has the tools to be a superstar, and he's probably the reason why Memphis is in the 8th spot right now. But I would not be surprised if they make Ja and Zion co-rookies of the year like they did Jason Kidd and Grant Hill, or Zion wins it outright. And it's going to be a slap in the face for Ja because Ja's been consistent this whole season, and it's not like he's slacking off. This man is balling his brains out. You know what I'm saying? So I hope it doesn't happen, but will I be surprised if it does? Probably not. And it's going to be a slap in the face to Ja, honestly, to me.
I think what the NBA is trying to, and I hate what they're trying to do, but when you look at what they're pushing, the
Yeah.
agenda is to find another LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
Find another LeBron James. That's why they, and I'm not trying to say Giannis, I don't know how the hell you say it. Antetokounmpo.
Y'all
I hope I
Morant.
said it right. Antetokounmpo, he's a good one. That's why they're trying their best to, push. But Ben Simmons, but he can't shoot worth a damn. But they love those guys who are long, lanky, and essentially those point forwards like a LeBron James who can do everything. And guards, Luca. I mean, Luca is pretty much the exact same. He's tall, athletically gifted players. That's what they're trying to put. So when you got guys like John Morant, Trey Young, Trey can put up 50 points and he still don't get the respect. It doesn't matter.
I'm glad you spoke about Trey because there's a lot of people talking about he should have been an All-Star. I'm like, the dude's the second leading scorer in the league, and he's the second behind LeBron. He's the second leading scorer, and he's second behind LeBron in the season. You telling me he's not an All-Star? Come on. I mean, you know who shouldn't have been an All-Star? Kyle Lowry should have been an All-Star. He should have been all. That's you know what? And I don't want to go off on a tangent. We're gonna come back to this.
Go ahead, do it.
Bradley Beal was disrespected. Whoever put Kyle Lowry over Bradley Beal in the All-Star game, you need not to vote ever again. You need not to vote ever again because you see, I said it. I tell everybody this. I said behind Damian Lillard, who I think is very underrated. Devin Booker and Bradley Beal are two of the most underrated players in the NBA. Nobody talks about them because they play for sorry teams. But Bradley Beal should have went in over Kyle Lowry. So whoever made that is whatever coach or fan picked Kyle Lowry over Bradley Beal to be an All-Star game, just revoke your vote for the rest of the time you're on this earth because you made a big mistake. Because I picked Bradley Beal because Bradley Beal was balling. Bradley Beal
always put up 20. Every game
in the two games he's played after the All-Star break, he's put up 53 and 55. Granted, they lost, but this dude was putting up numbers. And the fact of the matter is, you put Kyle Lowry over Bradley Beal. Come on, man. No. And then on top of that, what did Kyle Lowry do in the All-Star game? Besides take a charge, nothing. I mean, come on. So I mean and that's why I said that's why I told Joe B today. I told him that the Rookie of the Year voting is a joke. All-Star voting is a joke. It's a joke. It's a popularity contest. But we all know that
the entire NBA is an absolute joke, man.
It's a joke.
The NBA is and I say this all the time. Only team that I watch is the Hawks, and Katie, I watch Golden State because Steph Curry is my favorite player. That's about it. I don't watch the NBA because it's just an agenda-based league now. And sad to say that because, like I said, NBA, I love to play basketball. Basketball besides football has always been, my two favorite sports, and I can't enjoy the game that I love because it's an agenda based. Like everything they do is agenda based, and I can't watch a game without seeing somebody at the free throw line 20 fucking times at the free throw. Like that right there tells you everything. We're not talking about just one player. It's about 40 free throws almost every single game. Each team, each team. 40 free throws, close to it. Every game. We're talking about games where you got teams scoring 130 points apiece.
And they kind of eliminate. They kind of alter the rules too. But I want to address this comment that Joe B said. He said Lowry got to face his team success now that Kawhi's gone. Lowry's not even the face of the team on the team he is now. That belongs to Siakam. Siakam is the face of the team. It's not Kyle Lowry. It's Siakam. Siakam is the best player on that team after Kawhi left. So, like I said before, Kyle Lowry shouldn't have gotten in over Bradley Beal. Everybody talks about records. Everybody talks about, but look at the stats. Look at the stat line. Look at the stats. The stats don't lie. Records lie. Women lie. Men lie. Stats don't lie. and Lowry, Brick Beal should have gotten it over Lowry. So I mean, that's just my opinion right there. So I mean, that's my whole thing. So now if Zion was playing a full season with Ja, whole different story. But the fact of the matter is, the reason why I think Ja will get it over Zion, in my opinion, is because Ja's played the whole season and he's been consistent this whole season. Now, if he would have fell off, like completely fell off, then we'll be talking about Zion winning it. But come on now, y'all, people out there saying that Zion should win it over Ja. Y'all haven't. Ja has been consistent, and y'all being borderline disrespectful. Y'all say that. So
Yeah,
that's just my opinion. So that's my opinion. But I mean, and like I said, I got a gut feeling that Ja's gonna get screwed out of Rookie of the Year. I really think he will. I think he's gonna get screwed,
like
and it's gonna be a slap in the face. And it's gonna be a slap in the face to him. And I said it. If Zion somehow wins Rookie of the Year over Ja, they just need to give out the award to the best college player coming out and just end it right there. So we won't have no controversy.
That's pretty much that's pretty much. But let me address this question, this comment right here, man.
Go ahead, man.
Embiid or Simmons in the future, man. This is a toss up, and I know your boy just hit 49 the other day. 49ers against my Hawks. But one of the things that I don't like, I think Philadelphia just screwed Doom. I don't think you guys are going to have a future, to be honest. I don't think the Philadelphia 76 is going to have a future. I think Embiid is a terrific player, but I can't trust him to stay healthy. Like, he can't stay healthy. It's almost like Tyson Kelly for the Falcons. Like, I can't trust him to stay healthy. Can he stay healthy and get to the finals?
Yeah.
Are you willing to continue to give him $150 million contract to be hurt in the playoffs? I can't see it. Ben Simmons is absolute bust. Ben Simmons is absolute bust. You pretty much traded everything to kind of get those guys and make those guys happy.
Yeah.
Like, the coach, I mean, they're pretty much saying that the coach is losing favor and losing power. They're like, Philadelphia is a mess right now. I know you guys still got Embiid and Simmons. Those guys, you got some pretty good players, but I'm worried about y'all guys. I'm truly worried about Philadelphia, their future, man. I don't think there's going to be some. There's going to be some bad. You guys are going to be.
It's gonna definitely be some changes. And the thing about it is, with me personally, it's gonna be some changes. And with me personally, I think that, and this is just my hot take on the whole situation, I think Embiid and Simmons should separate because it's starting to turn into a Kobe Shaq situation back in the day. Because you saw when Simmons went out, it seems like every time Simmons is not playing or he's out, it seems like Embiid elevates his game. Because like I said, he went for 49 on 17 shooting. That's just my take. I think that they should separate. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, you just hating because no." I talked. We and Sean talked about this the other night. I said that they should separate. I really think they should. I really think that, I don't know if it's going to be via a trade or a free agency or something like that. But something has to happen because Philadelphia is trash on the road. They're trash on the road. They can win at home. But they're trash on the road. And I think that's going to come back to bite them when they have to go play teams like Toronto and Milwaukee, and they have to try to win at home. Yes, they did it last year, winning at home against these guys, but they did fall to the Raptors on Kawhi's last shot. But it just seems like something's not clicking. It's not clicking. And I don't know if it's the coach, the front office, the players themselves. I'm hearing rumors that Embiid and Simmons will have some kind of some beef. I don't know what it is, but something has to change if they want to be champs. Because if you want to be a championship caliber team, you got to win on the road in the playoffs. You got to win on the road, and the Sixers are not doing that. So I don't know what needs to happen. Sean could probably explain to me more if he's here because he's more of a Philly fan. But something has to change. It has to, because if they keep going this route, I won't be surprised. They probably won't make it to the conference finals. I do have them going to the finals. I do have them going to the conference finals, but the way that Toronto, even Miami, even the way Miami's playing,
Miami's playing good.
Toronto, that might not be the case. So something has to give. So we'll see what happens. I like Embiid. I said that he would, once he got past the injury problems, that he would be a good player. And he showed that last night against the Hawks. Like I said, dropping 49. But Philadelphia, the Sixers got to do some serious soul searching. So that's how I feel about it. So I mean,
yeah,
we'll see what happens, right? So, but with that being said, we got that comment out the way. What's next on the agenda there? My producer. Oh, there you go, Mike. Your boy's coming back. So I know you say you watched the Hawks, but I know you say you watched Steph Curry too. So I talked to Little Pancake. He's happy that Steph Curry's coming back, but I think it's too late. He should just chill for the rest of the season because the Warriors are not making the playoffs. So I think he should chill and heal up. Him and Clay come back. They're going to have a high draft pick, so I'm pretty sure they're going to get a high caliber player out the draft. I'm pretty sure they're going to make moves in the offseason. That's my take, but like you said, pride, and you want to play the game. How you feel about it? Do you think that Curry should just hang it up, or he should come back?
I think they'll play him for a couple of games and do what LeBron does and say do what LeBron says, load management for the most part. But like but all serious, man, yeah, I think it's the right thing to do is just Steph is too vital and too great of a player to be playing some nonsense right now. Like there's no need to play him outside of just satisfying fans, getting the fans, ready for next year. I would just put him on a schedule, put him in time management for the most part, because it's like I said, you got Steph, Clay, and they're going to have a high draft pick, so you're going to get.
Also they got Andrew Wiggins as well, who could be a good player if he stops being lazy. He could be a pretty good player if he stops being lazy.
He really can. He really can. That's his biggest problem. He's just lazy, man.
He's just lazy. He's lazy. He's lazy. They said Jimmy Butler called him out of Minnesota, and a lot of people called him out of Minnesota for being lazy. So if he can stop being lazy and kind of apply himself outside of basketball, because I think he depends on. He's a talented player, but I think he depends on that a lot, and he doesn't evolve. So if he could evolve to be that player that a lot of people could see, I think he'd be another key piece in Golden State. So yeah. So, but
I don't think Steph. Yeah, I don't. There's no reason to bring Steph back. Play him a couple of games, maybe 10, 15 games, and just shut him down. Like there's no need to even bring him back, to be honest.
Yeah, they're not making the playoffs unless something miraculous happens. They're not making the playoffs.
That's not happening. Why would you want to make the playoffs anyway?
Exactly, because to get swept by one of these good teams in the West, because the West is stacked still. The West is still pretty stacked. So I know we talked about the Lakers, we talked about the Clippers, even Houston with that small ball, they're doing pretty good. Denver, Utah. So
oh my God.
Yeah, it ain't no point in trying to make the playoffs because you're not going to make it far, especially with a Steph Curry that hasn't played in a while, so he's going to be super rusty. You don't have no Clay until next season. They already said that Clay's not coming back this season. Andrew Wiggins, while he's a good player, he's not like a game changer like people would want him to be. I really think he can be, but right now he's not. I think Joe B said himself, I think the reason why he's coming back to develop chemistry, because I know, Mike, you talk about chemistry a lot, so maybe that's what he's trying to do, develop chemistry with Wiggins. Wiggins can be that, especially if Clay comes back and Steph comes back healthy. Wiggins will probably be the three coming off the wing, so maybe they'll try to do some kind of chemistry with them. But yeah, I don't know why he's coming back. All I could think he's coming back is because of pride. Honestly, that's it to me. So,
Yeah,
but
I don't understand. Like I said, chemistry is huge. To kind of establish some type of familiarity,
kind of
chemistry.
kind of
That's the only thing that I can see. There's literally no point to bring him back at this point.
I don't think so. Considering the fact that they they only won 12 games this season, and yeah, they're not coming back. But there is one player. There is one player. I know we was talking about Curry, but there was one player we didn't talk about that's on the shelf again. That's
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie Irving on again. Uh,
Jesus Christ.
Season-ending shoulder surgery. He's gone again. Season-ending shoulder surgery. I should have ran this by my producer, but I forgot all about it. But we didn't talk. I don't think we talked. I don't think we talked about it last week. But my homeboy, he's kind of like he likes the Nets. And he was kind of pissed off because he was like, they should have just kept D'Angelo Russell, who was blossoming into an all-star. I know they're trying to get big names there in Brooklyn because they did get KD, and KD is on the track to come back. He's been working out. He's been doing his thing, trying to get back. But we know he's not coming back this year. He's not coming back this year. He'll be back next year. And now Kyrie's on the shelf again with another major injury. So if you're the Nets, do you kind of regret trading away D'Angelo Russell instead of just keeping him and signing him to, because he wanted the same deal that Kyrie had. So
Mm-hmm.
do you kind of regret as a manager of the Nets? Do you kind of regret that you should just sign Russell to that same deal and just waited for KD to kind of get healthy and then just put them two together? I mean, I don't know. I mean,
that franchise is doomed. I'll just say that, man. They just damn doomed. Just simple. I think, yeah, that's the comment that I'm actually reading. Like that franchise is doomed. I don't know what Kevin was thinking. He should have took his ass to New York, to the Knicks.
him and Barry would have been a good. Him and Barry would have been a good combo. But either that or go to Washington and be with Bill. But
Bill,
we already know Washington couldn't afford him because they just gave that's why they gave John Wall all that money, so they can't even sign nobody right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I honestly I think that with Kyrie being on the shelf again, I think the Nets have buyer's remorse. I really think they do. Because I think they pulled the trigger too quickly on D'Angelo Russell, who was having a pretty good year in Brooklyn as a point guard. He was an all-star, healthy, young. Because I think Kyrie's 29, 30 years old. He's kind of old. And D'Angelo Russell he wasn't that old. He was like 24, 25, 26 at the most. So me personally, if it was me, I would have kept D'Angelo, signed him to the same deal that Kyrie, and then I think that's why Joe Reed kind of put it out there. I think that's why they signed Kyrie because in order to get KD, they had to sign Kyrie. That's the only reason why. That's the only reason why. Because I think that's why they didn't sign D'Angelo Russell because they was trying to get Durant. So, like I said, the NFL, not the NFL, the NBA works in crazy circles. The NBA works in crazy circles, and everybody is trying to click up, and well, it's not clicking up no more. Everybody's trying to get these sidekicks and make the NBA a parody again. But me personally, if it was me personally, I would have kept D'Angelo over me. I would have kept D'Angelo.
I would have
just for the simple fact that he was young. He was young. He was productive.
Way too much, man.
Right, and he was productive, and he didn't have a major injury. So I mean, that's just my opinion right there. I think that the Nets kind of boggled this. I know they was trying to get KD to come to Brooklyn, but now not only you signed two players to max contracts, both of your players are on the shelf. So now you don't have neither one of them. Not one. You know, you're in the same boat as the Knicks right now. Pretty much, you're in the same boat. So
$200 million
really,
in both
really
on the shelf.
somebody send the SOS to New York right now because they need it right now because both their teams are struggling. Somebody. I mean, I know the Nets. I know the Nets are in the playoff picture right now, but you know what? If they do make the playoffs, they're not going to make it far. They're not.
I can't see it.
I don't see it. I don't. I really don't see it. I don't see them making it. Consider the fact that,
like,
go ahead, Mike.
No, I'm just saying, man. I just can't see. Like, you got 2 injury guys who come out pretty serious injuries. KD with Achilles. Like, there's no guarantee that he's going to come back the same. KD's like that's a serious injury, especially for basketball. Like, we don't know if he's going to come back the same. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to say about New York. I really don't know what to tell you guys, man. Pray to Jesus, pray to Allah, whatever the hell you want to pray.
Oh, hold on, White. Speaking of which, this one he said, what would it take for the Knicks to be relevant? Jesus Christ, pretty much. Jesus.
Yo,
two things need to happen. Number one, y'all need Jesus Christ. I mean, RJ Barrett is a very solid rookie, but y'all need Jesus, and also y'all need James Dolan to sell y'all team.
You already know. I know.
I need James Dolan. James Dolan is the worst owner in all of sports. I thought Jerry Jones was bad. I thought Jerry Jones was bad, but James Dolan makes Jerry Jones look confident. Y'all need James Dolan to sell that team. Y'all really do, because
he needed to go.
You telling me all of these free agents that they have out here. You telling me the New York Knicks couldn't get one? Not one? Not even one? I mean, they had Kevin Durant in Madison Square Garden. They had him in Madison Square Garden, but they were like, well, we're not going to sign him because he's coming off a bad injury. So he's better than all your players on your team. I would have took an 85% Kevin Durant over any of the players on the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? And then they was banking on getting the number 1 pick because of Zion, to get Zion. And we saw how that goes. You know the lottery in the NBA is unpredictable. So you know they're not gonna get him. So I mean, it's like I don't know what the Knicks need. I don't know what they need to do, honestly. I mean, like I said, you need to pray. And you better hope that you wake up one day and James
because y'all need help all over the place.
Y'all need some help.
Coaches, everything. You need everything. I don't know what it's gonna take for them to be relevant.
Something, because
that's what I say. Just sell the team. Dolan needs to go.
But you know what? He's not gonna sell it. You know why? Because the Knicks are one of the top earning team, and that's why I understand. How are they the most valuable franchise in the NBA and nobody goes to the games? But then again, New York is one of the biggest markets in sports, so that's why. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Joe, they would have been happy. Look, Joe, they would have been happy with Ja. They would have been happy with anybody. I mean, RJ Barrett was good. RJ Barrett is a solid. Don't get me wrong. RJ Barrett is a solid rookie. He is a solid rookie, but he can't do it by himself. They need somebody else. They need some more folks out there. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't understand how the Knicks are this valuable franchise and they suck. They've been sucking since they haven't been good. They haven't been good since
a decade. Over a decade, bro. Over a decade.
The last time the Knicks were good was 1999 when they made that run to the finals and they lost to the Spurs. That was the last time.
That's the last time.
That was the last time. But
with
that being
okay for Melo. It was okay.
Yeah.
For Melo. They weren't good.
I watched the Knicks because they had Hoodie Miller, but he couldn't do it by himself.
That's it.
They couldn't. Somebody had to do something. But everybody's saying, yes, it's their fan base. Yes, it's the fact they're in New York. Yes, guys like Spike Lee and these New Yorkers still go to. That's why I said. That's why it boggles me, just like it boggles me with Atlanta, because Atlanta has a pretty good sports market. We're in the same boat. I just don't understand how New York is one of these valuable franchises. Like I said, Jerry Jones makes Dolan makes Jerry Jones look smart, and not a lot of people can say that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So, but with that being said, we're gonna move on to the next one. My producer, what's the next subject we're gonna talk about? Oh, we're gonna talk about the free agency. Yeah. With a lot of willing and dealing. D'Angelo Russell's gone. He's gone. He's a Timberwolf now with his homeboy Karl Anthony Towns. Who else is there out there? Who else is out there as far as free agency that really? We got Devin back. We traded him. We traded Jabari Parker off. We got Devin back. I don't really know who else is free agency wise. I mean,
no Marquise, whatever they name, Marquise.
Yeah,
them idiots. That's where are they gonna go?
Nah, they're both ones with. Guess what? They made this another story between Kawhi and LeBron. One's a Clipper and one's a Laker. So, yeah, yep. So they're trying. They trying to make this a narrative that if both twins meet in the Western Conference Finals, it'll be the first time in NBA history. But I'm like, those guys are not.
Who cares? Nobody cares about them.
That's what I'm saying. Those guys are not. I mean, they're solid players, but they're not like game changers.
They're not different.
They're not game changers. Oh, and the Hawks did get Clint Capella, which is I'm very excited for. I think he'll be that. I think he'll be that rim protector that the Hawks sorely need. I mean, much respect to John Collins, but I think John Collins is more of an offensive-minded big man, and I think Clint Capella will be that third guy. He'll get the rebounds, he'll get the blocks, he'll protect the rim because I think that's what the Hawks were lacking, a presence in the middle, and I think that would seriously help. We didn't really give up a lot. I think we gave up a first-round pick, but it wasn't a first-round pick that's going to affect this draft coming up. So we're still going to have this. Yeah. We're still going to have a high draft pick. So I'm looking forward to that, and I agree with a lot what Joe B's saying right now. I think that the Hawks are trending. Yeah, Collins' injury kind of set us back, but there was a lot of other things. But right now, the way these guys are playing now, give us about a couple years and we'll be all right. But honestly, it's actually been kind of a dry free agency in the NBA as of late because a lot of the big names won't be free agents until next year.
They already made their choice who they're gonna be with. They already made it before the free agents.
They already know. The name that everybody's talking about is Giannis. Giannis is a free agent next year. Yep. Everybody's already talking about he's gonna go west to either the Lakers or the Warriors. Oh you know how that goes. You know how that goes. But that's the big name. Honestly, I think he stays in Milwaukee. Or if he does decide to leave, he's not going to the Lakers or not the Clippers. He's not going to the Warriors. He's not going to either one of those teams. But if Joe B says the Knicks, I can see that. I can see him going to New York. They'll have that'll be a big name that could bring the crowd in. Well, my question is this. You go from a title contending team to the bottom dwelling of the Eastern Conference. I don't know about that. I mean, yeah, Golden State is at the bottom right now, but Golden State is missing Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. And Andrew Wiggins is playing. So if you pair Giannis with those three guys, they can it'll be just like the Big Four they had when they won those championships. So I can see him going to New York if he wants to be the man, but the fact of the matter is they're gonna have to build around him, and I don't think Dolan will do that. I think Dolan's too incompetent to do that. To me, honestly, I don't think
Dolan's too much about himself. He's too much about himself to be able to handle a star like Giannis, man. I can't see that happening. I wouldn't bet against it, being that it is the Mecca for the most part. But outside of that, like, what's he gonna gain from going to New York? Publicity? Like the
only thing you can gain from going to New York is the fame. But he already said he's not worried about that. He's trying to win championships, so that pretty much tell you that he's not worried about that. But I've seen stranger things happen. I've seen strange things happen with players when they said they're not gonna go to a certain place and then they end up going to a place. they end up going to a certain place. So only thing we'll do is wait and see. I hope he doesn't go to. If it was up to me, I hope he doesn't go to Golden State. I'd rather him go to New York if they want to build. But if I was a betting man, I think he will stay where he at because Milwaukee has a good team.
You know what?
They
I'm gonna
they
say
will.
this.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say this. I think a team that he will fit perfectly with is. I think the team that he fits perfectly with is the San Antonio Spurs, man. I think the San Antonio Spurs are a perfect fit for Giannis. Good defense, and you already know how that team is for the most part. They're defensive oriented. He's going to get the best out of them. He's one of those players who is coachable. He plays defense, and I think it's the perfect spot. The perfect spot is San Antonio. I think the perfect spot for him is San Antonio, and you already know.
My question to you is this. If he does, because I do think he'll go. I think San Antonio is a perfect fit for him. My question is this: LaMarcus LA Aldridge already plays that spot. So how would it work unless they move Giannis to the 3? How would it work? How would it work though? You know, moving to that's the only thing I'm saying. And then on top of that, the Spurs don't spend no money. The Spurs don't spend no money like this. The Spurs don't spend no money like that.
But I think if they don't spend money like that, but if they want a star and the star wants to be there, that Popovich can get like they've used Boris Diaw as the point forward, so it won't be. It's not anything that he hasn't done before. He used taller guys to be a point guard and let the guards pretty much be the scorers, like Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. So, look, man, I'm telling you, like, I don't know if San Antonio decides that they want to switch some things up and kind of, be more modern. I always say modern, but that's probably the right word. Modern. They're just come with the time because they don't like to spend money. But like in this league, you're gonna have to spend money.
And Giannis is gonna wherever Giannis goes, he's gonna command. He's gonna command the supermax. I don't see San Antonio paying $200 million. I just don't. I don't see him. I don't see him paying $200 million. And everybody, and look, I'm about to do the Mike treat. I'm about to do the Mad Mike treatment. For everybody that's saying that Giannis is going to Atlanta, stop the fucking madness. He is not coming to Atlanta. He's not. As much as I would love him to come to Atlanta, we already had the pieces in place. We just need to develop. We don't need Giannis to come. Now, if Giannis says I want to come play for Atlanta and they work out a deal, I won't be mad. I won't be mad. But no, he's not coming. That's like people was talking about. We're gonna talk about this when we go into the NFL. Because I know a lot of people saying there's a certain player we need to get, and I told them absolutely not. But we're going to talk about that in the NFL part. But no, Giannis does not need to come to Atlanta because we have players in place to develop. And I don't need. And then on top of that, where will Giannis fit? We got John Collins. Where will he fit? Where will he fit in Atlanta? I mean, where? So I mean, now that comment right there, I disagree with. No superstar wants to come in Atlanta. That I disagree with. Superstars want to come to Atlanta, but like I said, we gotta put the game out there.
You gotta have a reason to come. You can't just come to a team. You gotta have a reason to come.
You gotta have a reason.
And before trade,
but I do agree. But I do agree with this, and then I had to put this up here. She said we need a damn center. Hey, Giannis can play center, power forward, whatever you want him to play, he can play. And I think, and I agree with Joe B and what everybody else said. I think Popovich would make it work if Giannis was to go to San Antonio. He would make it work because I see him have crazy lineups, and somehow next thing you know. The Spurs, they're in the NBA Finals.
He did it with Boris Diaw. He was a Atlanta Hawks and former Atlanta Hawks player. And
Yeah.
Boy Diallo playing every position. That dude played every position for Popovich, and I'm telling you, he will be a
Yeah.
perfect
And
fit.
I think you know what, and I
It all
think
just comes down to money.
yeah,
It just
and I
comes
think
down to money for him. That's it. Do they want to pay the money for him? That's all. That really
yeah,
it for San
that's the
Antonio.
only thing. That's the only thing I'm saying, that if Giannis does decide to leave Milwaukee, somebody's gonna have to pay him big. Like he's gonna get at least 230 plus. Like somebody's gonna pay him, because that man he's right now he's a top 5 player in the league right now. He's a top 5 player. I even argue he's a top 3 player right now. And somebody's gonna pay him. If he decides to leave, I think he's gonna stay in Milwaukee. That's my thing. But if he does leave,
I think so.
I think he's gonna stay in Milwaukee. But if he does leave, I won't be surprised if he goes to Golden State. And I won't be surprised if, unless they don't put out the money for him, he'll go to San Antonio. But it's going to be interesting to see, because he's going to be the hot free agent next season. He really is, and everybody's going to want their service. I'm pretty sure Atlanta's going to put their hat in the ring, but I don't expect Atlanta to sign him. But I've seen stranger things happen. I really do. But I don't see Atlanta sign him because, like Joe B said, he doesn't fit in our style of play, and we already addressed that.
You got to understand this also with this team. The Hawks are going to have to pay Trey. They're going to have to pay Trey. And players want to play with him, but you can't just have, who you can't just have signing players that just because they're all stars. They have to fit. You can't just throw some crap in there and just hope that they get it together. Trae Young is a point guard, and with point guard, you got to have 2 things: have the ability to shoot, and you have to have the ability to play underneath, down low. If you can't play down low, you can't play with Trae. Trae can't make trash out. Can't make trash out of trash. Right? Not gonna happen.
Right.
So I don't. Yeah, people want to play with Trae, but at the same time, man, I don't think. I really truly don't think players don't want to play for Atlanta, especially when you got a point guard who is a lot like Steve Nash. The guy is Steve Nash reincarnated. The dude can put up 40, 50 at any given time, and that dude is a wizard with that damn ball. Like, this dude can pass, he can dribble, he can do any damn thing you want. You can't tell me that.
And I told everybody that everybody wants to compare him to Steph Curry. I said he doesn't. He plays more like Steve Nash to me. He play like
Steve
Steph
Nash.
Curry. Yes, everybody enjoys the long shots that he makes. I get that. He plays more like Steve Nash to me, because Steve Nash was one of the players where he was more of a distributor. But if he needed 30, 35 points a game, he can give you that. He'll give you that. And he will. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't. When people say, he's Steph Curry 2.0, I'm like, no, he's more like Steve Nash to me. Honestly, I think he's more like Steve Nash, because if you, like I said, I put them side by side. I watched Trae Young's highlights, and then I watched Steve Nash highlights, and you can tell the similarities in their game. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if people want to say he's Steph Curry 2.0, yeah, because he makes the long shots from that. That's cool. That's cool. But if you ask me who his game is closely related to, Steve Nash.
Steve Nash, yeah.
Nash, definitely. Because Steve Nash can dish out 10, 11 assists, but if he needed to, he can score.
He can score easy. Yep.
But see, that's the thing about it, though, Nat. That's the thing about it, though, Joe B. I'm not saying that he can shoot like Steph and Trae. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that Steve Nash can give you 30, 35 points if needed to. He's more of a distributor. He would give. You saw them teams that he had with Stoudemire and Sean Marion. The dudes running up and down the floor, just wearing teams out. I'm not saying Steve Nash can shoot like Steph and Trae. I'm saying that Steve Nash and Trae Young is more of a distributor.
The overall game is pretty much exactly the same.
It's the same. It's exactly the same. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen where Steve Nash dished out 15 assists, but when the team wasn't scoring, he gave them 15, 20 quick points. I've seen that. If you go back and watch those them Suns teams when it was him, Marion, and Stoudemire, and they was out there running up people and blowing teams out. You know, everybody talks about how Houston was this great running gun team. I'm like, y'all must have forgot about those Suns teams in the early 2000s that was given, even though they didn't beat the Spurs and the Lakers, they were giving the Lakers and Spurs hell. They really were. They were. So, I mean, I'm not, like I said, if you want to compare him to Steph, cool. But I don't. That's just my opinion. I think he's more like Steve Nash. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So we got another comment here. They said that don't we need another 3-point shooter to go with Trey as well? Nah, not necessarily. We don't need another 3-point shooter. What we need is somebody, like I said, me personally, I know me and Mike talked about it. I would love to get Anthony Edwards from Georgia, but we're pretty sure he's going to be gone before we pick.
Yeah, he's
going to be gone before people saying he's going to be number 1 or number 2 in the draft. So I would love him to be in the backcourt with Trey, but I don't see that happening. Me personally, we don't need another 3-point shooter because we got guys that can shoot the rock. Hunter, Reddish, Porter, they all can shoot. We need some guys that can protect the rim and block shots and play in the paint. That's what we need. We don't need no 3-point shooter. We got plenty of those.
I think Cam is going to be a terrific scorer, man. Cam is going to be a terrific scorer. Cam is already coming on, and he's going to be that compliment.
I told him when people, you know what? And the funny thing about it is when people start calling him a go pan out, I say give him time. Yes, he's been inconsistent as of late, but I've seen when the dude puts it all together, that dude could be, like I said, he could be an all-star in about 3-4 years. He could be all-star.
This dude's a terrific defender. He's a terrific defender, bro. This dude, he got great on-ball. And that's what I like most about him. His on-ball defense is just insane. That he's guarding all-stars and he's picking these guys off. And then you see Trey get him. What do you do? Throw the ball down, and Cam get the dunk. Like, this is what you're gonna see. You're seeing a lot of that from Trey and Cam. So when it all comes down to it, man, I think the Hawks, I don't think they need another score per se. I think what they have, you really underestimating. A lot of people underestimating how good John Collins really is. This guy is this dude can score from outside and inside. And you pair that with a point guard, a true point guard who can score. And all you really need from Hunter, about 10 to 15 points. All you need from Huter is 10 to 15 points. That's it. That's pretty much it.
Same thing with Reddish. And I know Joe B said that Reddish can't shoot. He can shoot the ball. I mean, like I said, you know who Reddish reminds me of as far as shooting the ball, and Mike's probably going to agree with me when I say this. He reminds me of Scottie Pippen.
Yep.
He reminds me of shooting the ball. Because everybody knows Scottie Pippen couldn't shoot the ball when he was playing. But when he needed to put the ball in the hoop, he put the ball in the net.
He needed to. He knew how to.
Steve Kerr said it himself. Scottie Pippen is a sometimes shooter, and I can see that with Reddish. But the thing with me that separates Pippen from Reddish is that when Reddish puts it all together, shooting the ball wise, he can shoot the ball. But I don't expect Reddish to be a 40, 50-point scorer. He will get a 40, 50-point game down the road eventually. But the thing with Reddish with me that sticks out to me is not his offense, it's his defense. You saw that pretty much steal the game against Miami. Reddish is pretty good. Yeah.
That dude is going to be a
Hunter, we already know that everybody talks about he's going to be the next Kawhi Leonard. I'm waiting for that to be seen. I'm not going to say that yet, but he does present the potential to be a two-way player like Kawhi Leonard and Klay Thompson. Just give him a little bit more seasoning. You know what I'm saying? So I see that. So I will, and Joe B, you're right. I do want him attacking the basket, but if somebody gives him an open shot, I'll put money on that. He'll make it.
This is what I say. Look, you don't need that with a point guard. As long as Trey, you
know what? That's the thing. Trey's gonna make it. When Trey's on the floor, he's gonna make everybody better around him. He really will.
That's it. That's all. That's true. It. You absolutely right, Trey. That's what people
he does.
Like.
And I think that's the thing. And I think And Joe B, you're right. I don't need Reddish. We know Reddish is not the Kawhi guy. I said DeAndre Hunter is going to be that. What we need from Reddish is consistency. Because one game he can have 25 points, another game he'll have 7 points. I said it, and I said this when he got drafted. I said that Cam Reddish is going to be probably the biggest boom or bust prospect in the draft. I'm leaning towards the boom side because I seen how he was at Duke. He didn't really get a lot of hype because Zion and RJ was pretty much the alpha males. But it was times where I seen Cam Reddish when Zion and RJ was struggling that Cam Reddish took the slack. Watch that Florida State game where he had the game winner. He scored 23 points, including that game winner against Florida State. So I'm not saying that Cam Reddish. I'm saying right now. I put it out there right now. Cam Reddish will be an all-star in about 2 to 3 years. He will be an all-star. He will be an all-star. And if he doesn't, then we'll revisit this, and y'all can tell me to eat crow. But right now, Cam Reddish has the potential to be an all-star. He really does. He really does have to be all-star. He just got. To me, he has to put it all together. That's all. He needs to put it all together consistently. Because that's why I think that's.
You know what? It's probably gonna drive people crazy when I say this, but he reminded me of Bradley Beal when he got like Bradley Beal had a lot.
Beal was raw. He was raw.
Yes, he had a lot of flaws offensively. He did not have. He had the ability to shoot, but he had those inconsistency issues.
And you know what? Bradley Beal was in the same situation that a guy like Cam Reddish and DeAndre Hunter are in. Yes, they have the games, but they have a guy like Trae Young who's the superstar. He's a superstar of that team. I'm gonna go ahead and say I know Shannon Sharp said he's a star. I'm gonna go a little bit further. He's a superstar right now. He is a superstar. So when you got a guy like that on your team that's getting all the attention, you'll get overlooked. All you gotta do is just keep playing your game. And people like me, who's a hardcore basketball fan, Mike, you're a hardcore basketball fan. People gonna start noticing the fact that hey, this you got another guy right here who's balling just as good as you. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, all I want from Cam Reddish is to put it all together.
That's it.
If he can put it all together consistently, like he does, like I said, one game he has 25 points, another game he'll have 7 points. If he can put it all together, and the fact that he plays pretty decent defense, that man gonna be all-star 2-3 years. Like I said, I'm calling it right now. That man will be all-star 2-3 years. And I'm like my dad said, I'm willing to die on this hill for this one. So yeah, but I think Joe B, I think Hunter will be all-star next year, but it all depends because you know how the all-star game works. You know how it works. You know, so I mean,
popularity contest, man.
Yeah, really is. So with that being said, what's the next subject, producer? We're waiting on you. Oh, we're gonna talk about this XFL. Yeah. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this DC game where they got their ass whooped.
Oh man.
I thought. To me personally, I thought DC was the best team in the XFL, but after what I saw in LA, right now to me it's Houston. Houston right now to me is the best team in the XFL right now. To me,
that's what happens. That's what happens when you have teams with players that haven't really played, consistently. Like this is what you're gonna get. You're gonna have these games where you got teams like DC completely dominated, and then the previous weeks you saw them dominating other players, other teams. It's like this is what's gonna happen until these players consistently get to play the game. Till that happens, like as far as like superstars and players like that, I told you last week that what the XFL, the only thing they need is as a star player, who's going to come in and take the game and be their Michael Jordan, be their Kobe Bryant, be their LeBron James. That's all XFL looking for. That's all they need at this point. So who that guy is going to be, I'm not sure, but we're going to see weeks like this where teams completely dominate and they turn around next week and they lay an egg. So I still think they can bounce back. But yeah, I'm not sure if they are going to be. I'm not sure if they are that team to beat anymore. Like especially you lose like that. Like, come on, bro. Like I was shocked.
Like I said, I was watching that game. I was watching that game. I was like, everybody
This
talks
can't be the
about,
same team.
yeah, Cardale Jones, the way that he played against, and the way they just got whooped. So, and I think that was his worst game of his career because he was undefeated at Ohio State. He didn't lose in Ohio State, and he was winning in the XFL. And then all of a sudden, he gets to a road game in LA, and all of a sudden, he's completely exposed. He's completely exposed. LA, considering the fact that they had the worst defense in the XFL, they played lights out. They had the most turnovers in XFL in the game in XFL history. In the game, I think they had like 5 turnovers. I know they made Cardale throw 4 interceptions. Their running back, LA's running back, had 3 or 4 touchdowns. But it's like you said, you can't play the game on paper right now. So the way that DC got demolished, I don't really think they're the best team in the league now. The best team in the league to me right now is that team down in Houston with their quarterback, PJ Walker. And as much as Andrew Luck has retired from the game, I gotta give him a shout out because he's the reason why PJ Walker is in the position that he is now, because he told those guys, he vouched for those guys and said, hey, PJ Walker is a good quarterback. Give him a shot. Dude's playing lights out.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I read the story. They said that Andrew Luck vouched for him because he was a backup in Indianapolis behind Andrew Luck for Jacoby Brissett game, and they had PJ Walker who he flashed the talent. You know what I'm saying? So, and the fact of the matter right now, the way that it's going right now, considering the fact that DC got their ass kicked, Houston looks like the best team right now, and PJ Walker looks like the MVP.
Maybe he's that guy. That's going to
lead. I know you said you try to look for that guy to be the LeBron James of the XFL, and a lot of people, they're still watching right now. Me personally, I think PJ is the guy. That guy, he has the potential to be that guy. The way, especially,
I thought it was Cardale. Before, but now
I thought it was too because he had the pedigree. He had the pedigree. Won a national championship at Ohio State, went undefeated, never lost a game, and then he gets to LA and just lays an egg. And I was just like, because I had DC beating LA because the way LA was giving up points. But like you said, you don't play the game on paper. So I mean, it's that's how the game is played. But right now, I think that PJ and PJ Walker and the Roughnecks right now, they look like the best team in the league right now. But with that being said, I will say this about the XFL. We have had, and I know my producer is listening right now because she is from St. Louis. St. Louis was the first team this season in the XFL to run back a kickoff return. I missed it because I was out adulting. But I did catch the highlights, and the way they got that kickoff return was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Oh my God.
So wow. I will say this.
If you guys can see her in the back, she's just throwing up gang signs. All right, that's what she's doing.
That's my BFF. She is STL all day. She loves her St. Louis teams. She's a Cardinals fan. She is a Cowboys fan, but she loves them Cardinals though. And she likes the Battlehawks too, and she's a Blues fan. After they won the Stanley Cup, she's the Blues fan. So, but I did see the kickoff return, and it was pretty nice. They did a reverse, and the dude was. But I will say this: this was the funny part about that whole kick return. The dude looked like a linebacker running it back there because he was like heavy, but he got it in the end zone, and that was the first kickoff return. And I want to give a shout out to St. Louis. I want to give a big shout out to St. Louis. Considering the fact that they went through with Cronkite screwing them over, moving the Rams to LA, the way they are showing out for the XFL team is great. Like I think they had 30,000 people show up for their game. LaDonna, correct me if I'm wrong here. I think they had 30,000 people show up for their game. I think they sold out. That lets me know that St. Louis loves football. I know everybody talks about, they wasn't paying attention to the Rams. Yeah, because
Come
the
on.
Cardinals. Yeah, because the Cardinals were in their World Series run that year, and the Blues were playing good, and so nobody really was worried about the Rams. And then there was rumors, and then eventually it happened. The rumors was swirling that Cronkite was trying to move into LA. But I didn't catch the game. But the way that people are in St. Louis are actually going and watching games, that gives me hope. That gives me hope for the XFL because everybody wants to see the XFL. I don't know
Man,
why.
give us a
I don't know why. I don't know why.
team.
I don't know why.
Give
I
us
don't
a
know why
Georgia
people
team.
want to see the XFL fail. I don't know why they want to see the XFL fail because personally, I don't. I still love the NFL. I don't think they're going to overtake the NFL. But the way that people talk down on the XFL, like they wanted to fail, like come on, dog. Like seriously, like you're really that upset that the XFL is going to see. If you don't like it, that's cool. But for the people that like myself and Mike and Dexter, he just checked in, LaDonna as well. There are some people that still like football year round, and this is the lull between the Super Bowl. This is the lull between the Super Bowl and opening day in baseball. You got that lull right. And Vince McMahon did his homework doing this, and he went and got big wigs from Fox, ABC, ESPN to buy in on this. So to all the people that's out there talking about, oh, I want the XFL to fail because I'm an NFL fan. So what? Fuck you. Nobody cares. So but go ahead, Mike. Go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
Like I said, man, I think he did a good job. I think he did a great job actually. And Vince McMahon is a smart guy, and like I have no problem with it. Like now, me, like we're creators, man. We gotta sit back and talk about things and on sports and whatnot, entertain people. Like there's a huge dip here. Like we're rambling through the trash to try to find topics to talk about. Like there's nothing to talk about.
I was talking. Look, I was talking to you, LaDonna and Dex. I was like, "What we gonna talk about? There's nothing really to talk about."
That's it. There's nothing to talk about. Baseball is just beginning. XFL and like it's a lot to talk. It gives us something else to talk about. Like again, this is only thing is basketball, and basketball. It's nothing to talk about in the NBA.
It's not gonna really pick up until playoff time in basketball. Really,
it really isn't. That's the thing. It's like so. It's literally nothing during this period, and this is the best time. I think it should stay. I really think it's going to stay. I think a lot of the biggest thing is going to be television companies who's really hold all the power. Do they want to continue to invest in it? And I like it. You like it. A lot of people enjoy it, but
like you said, like I said, I agree with you what you said. I agree with you what you say. You say you like the flow of the game.
Yes, absolutely.
So I mean, it's to me personally, like I said, I hope it thrives. I know, and the AAF kind of flopped because they didn't do that. But I think after what Vince McMahon went through the first time he tried to launch XFL and it was wrong, and he did his homework. He really did. And I think the fact of the matter is, we all know that it's not going to overtake the NFL. The NFL is a $1 billion entity. It's not going to take over the NFL. But to have an alternative to watch football like me, I'm a hardcore football junkie. I can watch football 24 hours a day if I have to. So to have an alternative from the NFL until the NFL comes back, I'm good with that. And I agree with Sean. I really hope Atlanta gets a team because I don't have a team right now, so I'm just watching. But I really hope Atlanta gets a team. But there are rumors right now. Philadelphia will be the next team to get an expansion, so hopefully they will get Atlanta in there on the mix. But right now, Philadelphia is the next city to get an XFL team if they continue the way they're going. There are rumors. They already the Philadelphia community has already had a domain for the new XFL team. So we'll see how that goes. Right now, the way it's going right now, I want the XFL to see. I'm not a hater. I want the XFL to see. I really do because me personally, like I said, you need that alternative to watch football because I love watching football. Like I said, I can watch it 24 hours a day if I need to. But another thing I want to talk about is what happened to the Guardians, man? I thought the Guardians were gonna be a good team, but we saw St. Louis beat their ass. So I thought New York would be that team that would beat because I saw how their defense played, but the way that St. Louis dismantled them, I put St. Louis on that lower tier team behind Houston right now. I do put them ahead of DC right now because St. Louis, they're battling right now. So like I said, I do have to see St. Louis play. I haven't seen them play yet, but I heard good things about them. Our producer is St. Louis bound, so she's always bragging about her St. Louis team.
Everything.
Yeah, she's always bragging about St. Louis. So, but I want to see how this goes, and but I do want to kind of crack on my rivals though. I want to crack on them a little bit. How you have a bad NFL team in Tampa Bay Bucks, and then you got a bad NFL team, bad XFL team in the Vipers. Both of your teams are trash. Yes, you beat us in this past season, but your team is still trash. And both your quarterbacks are prone to throwing interceptions. So I mean, what's really going on down there?
Yo,
what's really going down there?
Bro, I don't know how that happens. You thought y'all thought Georgia fans were cursed? No, they cursed, bro. Like you can't catch a break nowhere. The Tampa Bay, the baseball team, they okay. They're not terrible. All right, then you got the football team, the Bucks. They okay. You got a terrible quarterback who can't stop throwing interceptions.
Like I said, as much as I want to talk trash about them, they did beat. We split the divisions. We split the 2 games this season. So
yeah, but it's still so.
They still. I said it. And I wanted to cheer for Tampa Bay because they did have Aaron Murray as a quarterback, but he looked terrible too. So I'm just like,
man, he needs to go ahead and retire. He can't play in the XFL. He can't play in the AAF. He can't do anything.
Can't play in the NFL, the AAF, the XFL, none of that shit, bro.
He needs to go try the CFL. Maybe he'll do something in the CFL. I don't know, man.
I don't know what he does, man. But it truly lets me down because I wanted to root for him so bad. I really did want to root for him so bad.
He's giving us nothing to play. Like he's giving us nothing to cheer for. This dude look absolute trash, man.
Oh man. So, but with that being said, man, and then we are, they had the Renegade. The Renegades do have a legitimate quarterback in Landry Jones, but he hasn't shown me nothing. He hasn't shown me nothing yet. They did beat Seattle this past week. So maybe but right now, the best team in XFL right now, it's Houston. If PJ keeps playing the way he's playing, they'll be good. So we'll see what happens. But with that being said, I think we got one more subject we want to talk about. And this is a pretty big one. So yeah. The NFL Combine is coming soon. And Chase Young will not be there. Personally, I think that's the best choice to make because he has nothing to prove. I mean, Nick Bosa didn't really participate in the Combine, and you see what he's doing in San Francisco. Also, Joe Burrow said he's not going to throw in the Combine. He's going to wait for his pro day. So, and I know a lot of people are talking about, they should participate in the Combine so the coaches can see them. No, not necessarily. You're trying to protect your career because I know a lot of players that have been injured or hurt in the Combine, or they had underwhelming numbers, which affected their draft stock.
Right.
So, me personally, I don't think Chase Young needs to go to the Combine because I think he will be a solid player in the NFL. Joe Burrow, I'm kind of mixed on because of the system he played in. I've seen quarterbacks that played in certain systems and they go and flame out in the NFL. But I do think that, and to consider the fact that he's going to probably be the number 1 pick, he's going to Cincinnati, he's going to struggle. Consider the fact that one of his top targets might not be there in AJ Green, and we're probably going to talk about that in the next subject we talk about. What do you think, Mike? Do you think that, I know a lot of people say that they shouldn't skip the Combine, but I mean, unless if you're a proven player in college, you don't want to mess up your draft stock. So do you think that they should participate, or are they making the right decision? Because you know me, I'm pro player all the time. When people get mad about these players skipping bowl games and stuff, I said it plenty of times. Unless you're in a semi college football playoff, don't play your bowl game. I don't care if it's a New Year's Six bowl or Melvin's Rib Shack bowl. If you're not playing in the college football playoff, skip your bowl game. Get yourself better. Get yourself ready for the combine to get drafted, because I've seen players like look at Tua. Even though he's gonna be a high player, he got hurt and he didn't play no more. And if he was like a lesser caliber player, the NFL will overlook him. You know what I'm saying? They will overlook him. So unless you're in the college football playoff as a college player, skip your bowl game. Get ready for the combine and the draft and your prospective team that you're going to. So I'm gonna let Mike have the floor. I said what I had to say, and I'm gonna let him have it.
Man, I pretty much agree with everything you said, but like just Chase Young. Everybody should know my thoughts on Chase Young right about now. I don't think he's this great megastar everybody's putting out to be. Like a Julius Peppers, that type of athlete. I don't think he's that. But I can always be wrong. I don't think he has. I truly don't believe that he has multiple, I guess pass rush moves. I don't see that. He relies too heavily on his speed rush. Reminds me of a lot of a bigger version of Vic Beasley. Not that Vic Beasley was a complete bust, but he wasn't able to take that next step, being that he didn't have that next, that another pass rush move. So until he shows me personally that he has another pass rush move outside of speed rush, because let's go back to the games that he played. We're talking about an important game. What the hell was Chase? What the hell was it? He wasn't a game changer. We're talking about he wasn't a game changer in college against big time teams. That worries me. If you're not a big time player in college, making big time plays in college, in big time games, that worries me. So I think he's doing the right job. Being for me, just based on what I've seen, I think he has tremendous upside. I think he could, if he established another pass rush move. I think that's his biggest issue. He just relies too heavily on his speed rush, and that for me that scares me, because, like I said, that it reminds me of a Vic Beasley who just relies too much on his speed rush. Have to establish even Tack McKinley with the Falcons right now. We're going to get to that, but they have relied too much on one pass rush move. In the NFL, you're going to get exposed. They're going to expose your ass quick in the NFL. You can't get away with that. You can get away with that in college, but when you get to the pros, they're going to expose you.
Yeah.
So I think you did a great job with that. As far as Mr. Burrows or whatever the hell you say his name, I hope I said the name right. Burrows. Yeah. Man, he need to sit his ass down somewhere. Like I'm just gonna be honest, man.
Yeah.
I'm not. This dude is a one-hit wonder, man. I'm very skeptical. I don't give a damn how many yards he threw for and how great he looked just that 1 year.
Yeah.
I can't trust him. I don't trust him. And if Cincinnati, if he wants to, force a trade for Cincinnati, if I was Cincinnati, I say go. Bye. Adios.
But the way, you know what?
What the hell has he done?
But you know what? I think the reason why he would go number one, because Andy Dalton's gone. He's gone.
Yeah.
I think, and honestly, me, you talked about it. Even Phil and Dex talked about it. The man is grade A dumpster juice. Mm-hmm. So Cincinnati will be looking for another quarterback again. But like I said before, one of their top targets might be gone, so he ain't gonna really have nobody to throw to if AJ Green leaves. We'll talk about that in our next subject right now. But with Chase Young, honestly, me personally, and Mike, you brought it up, in big games, and I saw the game he had against Clemson. The reason why that Chase Young didn't really show up in the Clemson game, I mean, he still had made his presence known. Clemson dedicated 2 or 3 guys to that guy. Like I've seen where he reminds me of in that game, and I'm not saying that he's the same player as this guy. I'm gonna say he kind of reminds me of what teams do to Aaron Donald. They committed 2 guys to him because of how much of an impact he had. Now, with that being said, Chase Young to me has the biggest boomer bust prospect in the draft right now, because we know how good he is, but we also know how terrible he can be. And I kind of agree with what you were saying. I feel that he does need 2 or 3 more moves, because if he's like Vic and he just depends on the speed rush, it's not going to work. Because in the NFL, you got experienced blockers who have seen the speed rush, who have seen pretty much every kind of move that a defensive lineman would put on him. He does need 2 or 3 more moves, maybe a swim or a club or a rip or something. I've seen him like kind of destroy people with speed rush. We saw how that worked with Vic, and Vic's no longer a Falcon because of that. So I want him to do good, but at the same time, I'm a little bit skeptical as well, because he can be a boom or bust prospect. He could be the biggest. He could be the best player in the league, or he could be the worst. Or he could be the worst player in the league. That's how big it is. There's no in between with Chase Young. He's going to be. Yeah. He could be either a great player or a terrible player at this point. So I mean, this combine I'm gonna really keep a lot of eyes on, because I'm gonna be watching for potential Falcons players that could be picked up. But right now I am gonna be. Well, he's not gonna be there, but I am gonna be looking at guys like Tua. Tua say he's gonna be at the combine, because I think he'll be medically cleared. I don't think he's gonna be at the combine, but he says he's gonna be cleared to do his pro day. So I'm definitely gonna keep eyes on him. There's a lot of other guys that I want to see defensive wise. I had a list, but I can't find it. But there's a lot of guys I see defensive wise that I want to be in the red and black as a Falcon. But we just gotta wait and see. But Chase Young, like I said, I just hope he does good. That's all I do. And we all know Burrow's gonna be number 1. I know he's trying to be saying, he's being nonchalant about it, talk about, I'm not gonna commit on the team I want to play for because they might not pick me. We already know you're going to Cincinnati. We know you're gonna be the first quarterback taken off the board. The question is, who's gonna come after you? Who's gonna come after you? There's Tua, there's Justin Herbert from Oregon. There's Jalen Hurts as well. Jalen Hurts said that he's not going to switch positions, which could help him or hurt him at the same time. Because I know a lot of people said Lamar Jackson should have been a quarterback, and you saw how Lamar Jackson. Right. So I would like to see Jalen be a quarterback, or he could kind of take a page out of Cordell Stewart's book and be that slash guy. I'm not saying that the combine is going to make or break you, but it will definitely put you in a position where the guys that are going to pay you all this money to make a better decision about if they're going to draft you or not. So that's my thing. So with that being said, LaDonna, what's the next subject? Oh, it's a big one right here. Yeah, this is the we made this.
I already know Dre.
We made this last one because I have one view and Mike has another view, so we made this the last one. So this is gonna be a version of good cop, bad cop. I'm gonna let the bad cop go first, and then the good cop's gonna kind of try to clean it up. So I'm gonna let the bad cop go.
Man, look, I don't. It's a touchy subject because I kind of feel like you, but at the same time,
it's a business. It's a business.
It's a business, man.
And the owners gonna want their money.
They're gonna want their money. That's the thing.
I totally agree with you on there, but it's certain things that we talked about that I was like, I don't agree with that, bro. I don't.
Yeah,
But
that's the thing, man. I don't know where to stand. Like this is probably one of the only ways where I don't know where to stand. But if I was pushed, I would lean towards more your way of things, your point of view. But I think honestly, and one thing we got to realize that if you were a businessman, put yourself in a businessman point of view, like would you
yeah,
want somebody to come and take 50% of your business that you
absolutely.
your empire?
And that's, you know what, and that's the point. That's the point I agree with you with. I
Mm-hmm.
want, if I'm building the company and I run it, I don't want to do below 50%.
Mm-hmm.
I said it. The way that the gap is right now, they're talking about 54, 46, 55,
Mm-hmm.
45. Me personally, I would rather do 52, 48, or at the worst 51,
Right.
49. That would be that's
Yeah.
what I want.
That's what I got.
I agree with what you're saying. It is a business, and the owners want to get paid. I understand that,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, if I'm making all this money off the players of off the backs of people that I'm drafting
That's
and playing for my team, then I would love to have for them to have the bigger slice of the pie, and then also to have better health care, because even though we know the NFL has the best health care, supposedly
mm-hmm.
it could be better. Especially when players retire and they need, they have a pension, but I think it could be better. I did some research because I didn't want to look like an idiot talking about this, because I wanted to make sure I was
Right.
saying the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL does have a good pension, but it could be better. It could be. Um, and I also said that players need to thoroughly read their contract, because the last
You don't want
time
to end up like Clinton Portis,
right,
you
and that's
know,
what I'm saying.
not reading.
The last time they had the collective bargaining, and they agreed to it, then they realized 2 or 3 years down the road, oh, we got screwed. Well, y'all should have
Mm-hmm.
read the contract. I am pro player, but you got to be smart too, because you're the
Yeah.
ones who's laying. You're the ones who's laying your bodies out there for these owners to get paid. So you have to realize that my health and my safety should come first, because you seen Mike, you seen a lot of these young guys retiring early. Andrew Luck, Patrick Willis.
Mm-hmm.
Who was another guy that retired early? It was a lot of guys that retired early, and he wasn't like
Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly just
Luke
retired.
Kuechly retired. Yeah, and he wasn't scrubs. These was high caliber players, and they're
Mm-hmm.
retiring because they know, like, you know what? I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need to be sacrificing myself if I'm getting paid. Yes, everybody knows they're getting paid big money.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. I get that. I get that. And you're right. They are getting paid big money, but at the same time, they're human as well, and they gotta look out for themselves, because the what's the average shelf life of football in playing? Matter of fact, not even football, just a high elite sport like a major sport like football, basketball, and baseball. What's the
Three,
average?
4 years. About
Three
3, 4 years.
at a
Somewhere
high
in
level. Yeah, I know a lot of people, like, they'll play 7, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years,
there.
and they're still. But the average shelf life of an NFL player or any kind of player is about 3 4 years,
About three,
especially
4 years. Yeah.
especially if you're an NFL running back. Look at Todd Gurley.
Oh man. Yeah.
Todd Gurley was one of the best running backs in the league, and now he's a former shell of
Yeah.
himself
We're
because his
talking about 2 year, a 3 year span for Todd Gurley, and now he's injured from like he can't. He has arthritis in both knees. You know
and
what I'm
look and
saying?
look
Like
and exactly look at the Falcons. Look at Devontae Freeman. He's a former shell of
Devontae
himself. He's not what he
Yep.
was. So I really hope players really look at this CBA and say, you know what, we need more than that. Bring it to about 48, 49, and then I agree. 50-50 is extreme to me, because I wouldn't agree to 50-50, but at
Yeah.
least 51-49. 51-49 or 52-48, and I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? So, and even Sean said it right here, Megatron. Megatron was another one. Man retired out.
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
Yeah, so and he was another. Like I was saying, a lot of these elite players are retiring now because they're like, you know what? I'm not going to give up my body to get paid peanuts, because they be like, oh, the NFL players, they make millions of dollars. Yeah, but the owners make billions.
He had to retire because of concussions, things of that nature, man.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, you know me, Mike. I'm pro player. I'm like, get everything you're owed. If you feel that it's not right, say, you know what? Give it back. Give it back and let's talk it over. You know the owners are going to agree because the owners are like, you know what? We're going to still get paid our lion's share. So we're going to agree. We're going to get, more money. And you said it, Mike. Every year the NFL gets more money. That's why you see the salary cap goes up every year. It goes up every year.
Yeah.
It goes up every year. So I'm like, hey, get everything you're owed. Everything. Because you never know. You always say you're one play away from being permanently injured or a bust or injured, something. So I'm like, get out. And people talk about, you need to, the players need to be more respectful. No, the owners need be more respectful of the players, because the players are the ones that's getting you money. They are responsible for you getting paid. Because I'll tell you right now, if the players would be like, you know what, if the players wake up one day like, you know what,
we don't want to play
anymore. I don't want to play no more. I don't even want to play. I don't want to play.
You have no game.
They'll probably get sued for breach of contract, but you know what? You know how much money that the NFL would have to pay to get that go to court? And you got to realize how many players are in the NFL right now. 5,000, 6,000 players in the NFL right now. Not counting, counting the practice squad, the backups, the starters, all those people. You realize how much money litigation that will have to happen? So the players wake up one day, if the players wake up one day and say, you know what? I don't even want to play no more. I'm good. I made enough money to live my life. I don't want to sacrifice my body no more. I quit. I don't want to play no more. So that's what I'm saying. Like, everybody talks about
they have more power than they realize. But
that's what I'm saying. And Mike, you said it yourself. You said these players have to realize that they have the power to completely shut the league down. Because you remember what happened? Because I already said it. I said it and I called it. This will probably be the last season. If they don't get that CBA down, this will be the last season that the NFL has, because and I already told you about how I feel about Devon Reese-Smith. I think he's two-faced as fuck. I think he's I think he's a fucking snake, because he's trying to work the player side. He's trying to work the player side and the commissioner side. That's not how it works. You're part of the players union. He already said that the NFL could see a 2-year strike, and I wouldn't even be mad. I told that like Jarvis Landry said on Twitter, y'all better get y'all XFL packages and college football packages, because there ain't gonna be no NFL. It's not, and it sucks. But at the same time, I understand, because as a player that's sacrificing my body, I want the most that's owed to me.
Why not?
It's not. It really isn't. And you know what I'm saying? And I just hope it comes to agreement, because I'm telling you right now, if it's not gonna be no NFL for 2 years,
I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do.
You know the wives and the girlfriends gonna have no money to do lists and tell you to do all this shit on Sunday.
Oh boy,
tell you. So I hope they get it together. And I do want to say something before we move on. We talked about the fact that what's his name said he no longer wants to be a Bengal anymore. So I think Joe Burrow's gonna suffer because of that. Because AJ Green said he doesn't want to be a Bengal anymore. And I think the Bengals have that same respect, that he's not gonna be there any longer because the injury problems and stuff like that. And this is the person I said that Atlanta doesn't need to sign, because we have way more problems than another wide receiver. Yes, I know he is a Georgia Bulldog, but we got that beast on the side at number 11. We don't need AJ Green to come, because we have a lot more pressing issues. So, but I do see him in two places. I see him in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers, and I see him mostly. And then it all depends if Tom Brady comes back to New England. I see him going to England too. I really do. I do. And there's another one. There's another players out there that nobody's talking about. Phillip Rivers. They talk about Phillip Rivers might become a Colt because of the familiarity of his system with Frank Wright. So it's a lot of things, but it's like you said, Mike. A lot of stuff won't happen if the CBA is not agreed to.
It don't
matter.
Until that get rectified, man. I don't think we should worry about who's gonna go where, man.
Yeah.
And another thing too, I think the perfect spot for AJ Green is in Pittsburgh, man, because they need another receiver. They need another receiver, a veteran receiver.
But you know what? Unless I think he's a free agent this season. Unless he's a free agent, they won't trade him to a rival. But I think he's a free agent, so yeah, he can go to Pittsburgh. He can go to Pittsburgh. Especially after that Antonio Brown debacle. I don't know what's going on with that guy, but yeah, I understand. Yeah. Yeah. So
yeah, I don't know. That damn dude is a damn clown, man.
that man
I don't know. He
out there putting out rap videos and shit right now, bro.
Like, bro, man, come on. I don't know what you think. I know we got some bad rappers, but no, that rapping ain't your thing, bro.
Right.
Stop.
Dog, just get you some help, and if you can't come back as a football player, come back in some kind of capacity, you know. Really. So, but with that being said, we got a couple more things we want to talk about because I know the Falcons Nation is listening right now.
Uh-oh.
We gotta listen to that. So I'm gonna let Mike handle this one because he's better at numbers. He's better at numbers than me. He's better at numbers than me because I'm the emotional Falcons fan. Because I'm gonna say, fuck it. But
well,
Mike is the calm one here, and he's gonna break down the numbers. So I'm gonna let him have this one for a minute.
Well, I've been getting updates about this all day, and to be quite honest, I've been saying did a live earlier today, pretty much saying that I told you so. I've been telling people don't get used to seeing Austin Hooper. He's not going to be back. I don't expect him. I mean, even I'll say this: I don't think when you look at his stats, yeah, they look similar to those who are the best. But when you look at how he's getting his numbers, and if I can pull it up real quick, but a lot of his numbers came like 50% of his catches, receiving yards, all of this came on first down. Most of his yards, 50% of his catches, 50% of his yards, 50% of his touchdowns came on first down for the most part. That's extremely alarming. Not third or fourth down, not even second down. First down. That tells me the Falcons are deliberately calling plays for him to get him the ball. Not because he's a big time player, not even because he's a star player. They're taking advantage of the coverage of a Julio Jones, him being double teamed. First down, teams are going to try to stop the Falcons for getting big plays early, so they're going to go to Austin Hooper to kind of get the attention off of Julio. And a lot of his passes become because of that. As far as his number, man, $13 million for a tight end. That's essentially a third option. I mean, he's barely a third option on this team. You got Calvin Ridley, have Julio Jones, and majority of the time, you're going to get the ball to the running back, Devontae Freeman or whoever it is. So he's essentially the fourth target. He's essentially a fourth target on offense. Are you going to pay a fourth target 13, 12, 13, between $10 million and $13 million? I can't.
And you know what? The unfortunate thing is, somebody's gonna pay him, and I want to see. I want to see this comment that somebody said right here. I really think that somebody like Arizona or Detroit will overpay him because of the production he got in Atlanta. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does go to Arizona or Detroit. Or hell, even Cleveland. Shit, Cleveland needs, they got Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry, but Cleveland's trying to get relevant again. So, they trying to get everybody, especially with the fact that the way that Baltimore's going to run that division. Pittsburgh's going to do their thing, but yeah, I really think that he's going to get overpaid somewhere, and I wish him the best. But considering the fact that we have more pressing needs on the Falcons side of the ball than the tight end, and I'm pretty sure we can find a tight end in the draft. There's plenty of tight ends we can find in the draft. We don't have to.
We don't have in the third round, I believe. I think it was the third down round we found Austin Hooper, so it's not impossible. Jaden Graham, you have Jaden Graham that could possibly come in and do what he does. Pretty much just find holes in the zone. But this is not to rag on Austin Hooper like he's totally worthless. Like, he's a very good tight end. You don't make it to the Pro Bowl without being a consistent tight end. But at this point, every team got to make those tough decisions. The Patriots do it every single year. They have great defensive players that they just let go because they can't sign them. They refuse to sign guys for $15 million, and try to continue to contend. Like, you can't play these guys that much money. So it's not a rag on Austin Hooper, but when you have a Grady Jarrett, who's a superstar defensive tackle, you have Deion Jones. I think he's the superstar middle linebacker. These guys need to be protected, and you need to continue to build upon those guys. Desmond Trufant is still a good corner, still one of the best corners in the league when he's healthy for the most part. But like, you have three guys that are very good on it. You need to make sure that you get the best out of those guys. And paying a tight end, you're not going to get the best out of your defense paying a tight end. And that's what it comes down to. And that's what I tried to kind of get a lot of people to understand. Don't get comfortable with seeing Devontae Freeman. Don't get comfortable seeing Austin Hooper and a lot of players.
You know what? That's another guy. There's another guy that he got let go too. Devondre Campbell.
Campbell.
So,
and he's a solid tackler. So when it all like I said, when it all comes down to it, you can't keep everybody. You can't pay everybody big time money. And
you said before, you said it too, that Arthur Blank needs to stop being so friendly.
That's it.
You talking about you built this wonderful stadium, but you're putting out teams that are, I don't want to get the Falcon Nation upset, but I don't give a fuck. You're putting out these mediocre teams. And when you got that team in New Orleans that's starting to get their stride back, and then you got Carolina, who will have Cam Newton coming back. Tampa Bay, I don't know what's going on with Tampa Bay, but I'm pretty sure they're going to start improving down the road eventually. Sometimes you got to put your foot down and say, you know what? I built this nice stadium. My fans are starting to lose faith in me a little bit. I need to put my foot down. I'm a Falcons fan. I've been a Falcons fan since prime time. Fucking Andre Rison, the run and shoot offense, all that shit. I've been down.
Boy, yeah.
I haven't. I didn't jump on when Michael Vick came to Atlanta because a lot of Falcons fans I see, they jumped on when Michael Vick became quarterback, and then when Michael Vick left, they kind of left with him. I know a few people that did that. I don't want to say their names because I don't want to give them that kind of I know a few of them. But when you build this fantastic stadium that's hosting all these events, but your team is playing pretty much below average, you gotta look in the mirror and say, you know what? I gotta stop being everybody's friend. I gotta put out a team. I gotta put out a team that's Super Bowl worthy. You got to, because I'm gonna still watch whether 15-1 or 1-15. I'm gonna watch, but I know casual fans are gonna be like, you know what, fuck this team. I don't want to watch it. So that's why I kind of agree with you, Mike. I agree with you when you said that it's time to stop being friendly and start making moves. Because you know me, I was upset when Detroit offered a first round pick and a fourth round pick for Devontae Freeman, and they was like, "Nah, we do." I was like, "What?" You know what I'm saying? Like, I love Devontae Freeman. I wanted Devontae when the Falcons drafted Devontae Freeman, I was hyped because I seen what he did for the state with the national championship against Auburn. I was hyped. But I also knew that when he started having these leg problems and stuff, I knew he was going to be.
You know it was over. You know it was pretty much over.
Yeah. So when they said no, I was like, so I really hope that, and as much as people, you know, I don't want people to get mad at me when I say this, but I hope Dimitrov gets his shit together because I've been wanting him fired. I've been wanting him fired. I've been wanting him gone. Dan Quinn, he's not on my shit list yet because he played the hand that he was dealt with, and considering the fact that he kind of finished strong at the back end, you know, knocking out, beating San Francisco at home, beating New Orleans at home. You know, I know he was been inconsistent, but he was played the hand he was dealt. He's not on my shit list yet. But that Dimitrov guy, yeah, definitely on my shit list. He's definitely on my shit. But
he's had too many instances where he has been inconsistent.
I hope that Arthur Blank learns from this because you keep fucking around and giving out these mediocre seasons with these mediocre teams. That Mercedes-Benz Stadium is only going to have about 15, 16, 1,700 diehards in that motherfucker. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. Yeah. I'll be mad as hell being there. So, yeah. But that's all I got to say about the whole Falcons thing because, you know, I can go all night with that shit. So.
Yeah, man. Like I said, man, I don't think when it all comes down to it, I think Mr. Blank has pretty much learned his lesson. I think he was just a little bit too loyal to certain players. He should have moved on from Devontae Freeman. I never thought that he deserved $4 million.
When you told me that they turned down their first round pick and their fourth round pick, I'm highly pissed. Because the Falcons could potentially had 2 top 15 picks. They could have, because the Detroit was trash. So you telling me you turned down a top 10, top 15? Because we had a top, I think we're 14 this draft. I'm not correct me. And then you know Detroit's terrible, worse. They're terrible. That would have been another top 10, 15 pick right there. Like, I understand loyalty. Everybody talks about loyalty, but I'm like, bro, it's a business too. Like, we trying to get better. And people talk about, oh, don't trade these players. So you want to be 5 or 10 for the next 4 or 5 years? You want to be 5 or 10? And they get mad because you see teams like the Saints and the Bucks and the Panthers and the Patriots and the Chiefs win a fucking Super Bowl. We sit here, we don't know. I don't know what to do. My team, yeah, you need to start treating it like a business. Gigi, I'm not joking. We was offered a first round pick and a fourth round pick from Detroit for free. And Dimitrov was like, I don't know who it was that said no, but somebody said no. Somebody said no because I called Mike cussing him out because I thought he did
it. Hey man, look, I'm gonna say this, man. I think Arthur Blank has finally learned his lesson because you got a guy in Dallas, and I hope she don't come on the show and whoop my ass for bringing up his name.
But, look. You see, you see our producers. She got her ears perked up.
Yeah,
she got her ears perked up, but she don't like. But you know what? She don't like Jerry Jones, so we good. She don't like Jerry. She don't like Jerry.
They have been offered. They have been offered a lot of picks for Devontae Freeman, man. A lot of teams have liked Devontae Freeman for a while, and they've offered a number of picks for Devontae Freeman. And the Falcons, whether it's cap issues or whatever it is, they have declined a ton of issues they've declined a lot of offers for Devontae Freeman, and for whatever reason, for me, I've said it over and over again. The days of a lead back is pretty much done.
Yeah.
It's paying these guys like Zeke. It's pretty much done. And I love Zeke. I love Todd Gurley. I love Le'Veon Bell in their day in their heyday, but you can't pay these guys because running backs don't learn. Maybe you'll get three.
You know what? They have an even worse shelf life than any position in
They
NFL.
really do.
They really do.
Really do.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like at some point, man, I can't justify paying a running back anything over 30 million. I'm not doing it.
Yep. A1, you pretty much got your answer here. Yes, the RB value has been lower because guys like Todd Gurley, I'm not wishing anything on Zeke Elliott because he's a good player. But when you see guys like Todd Gurley, I don't know any Le'Veon Bell, I'm not saying that when you see guys like that, they'll start.
David Johnson's about to get released.
Yeah, David Johnson's about to get released. David Johnson got released by the Cardinals. Injuries with Devontae Freeman, yes, absolutely. The value of the RB has been lowered. So that's why you see a lot of NFL teams have a 2-back set because you got to keep your RBs fresh because your running backs, if he got one feature back and he's the only one toting that ball, like I said, I don't want to wish anything on Zeke, but they need to find somebody that's capable of giving him a rest.
He needs a quality back.
He's gonna eventually break down, and you won't see that effective running that he does as a Cowboy. Oh Lord!
We got two. I just want y'all to know that we do have two.
Okay,
the rookie running back that came from Memphis is our running back. That was our number 2 running back, and he did really good last year. So we have 2 running backs. So I just want to put that out there.
Well, you got it from the Cowboys fan. See, I didn't know that because every time I watch a Cowboys fan, and I know Nikki's a Cowboys fan. Every time I watch the Cowboys, all I see is 21 back there.
I understand that, but I'm just letting you know.
That's why I just said it. I said when the Cowboys fan came on, I was good. I was good after that. So.
It's Tony Pollard. He averaged like 7 yards per carry with Memphis. He was like their number 1 running back. He did very well with Memphis. So he did good this year. I'm not saying I think they should have played him more, but we have to. Back to my hockey game I go.
I'm just making sure because all I see is 21 back there. That's all I see is 21 back there. So.
Yes. But we have to. Just everybody.
Y'all heard it from the Cowboys fan. Y'all heard it from the Cowboys fan. So we good.
Yes. Now I'm going back to hiding. Have fun.
Man.
That's our producer.
I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming.
As soon as I said somebody Zeke, she's gonna jump in. I heard her do. She was doing the perking of the ears like that, so I knew she was coming eventually. So, but with that being said, I really hope the Falcons get together because I'm tired of seeing these teams that I felt that we are better than getting to the Super Bowl and winning it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say anything because I know my mom's listening because I gave her the link, but we were better than San Francisco.
We were better.
The record didn't say it, but we was better than San Francisco.
Better. Oh, and at the end of the game, the end of the year game, that said it. That tell you everything. And I tell people all the time, the Falcons have talent. Just all up to the coach.
But like I said, I hope Arthur Blank really looks in the mirror and does some shit. That's all I'm saying. So. But with that being said, I'm pretty sure we're at the end of our show. Our producer's about to put up the last one. We're at our last part. So yeah, we got the parting shots. So I'm gonna let my brother go first, and then I'm gonna close it out. So this has been an interesting show. Considering the fact we didn't really have nothing to talk about, but we still went over our 2 hours. That's what we do.
It happens all the time, huh?
What we do, it happens all the time, but shows like these is good because when you don't have nothing to really talk about and the people are commenting and stuff like that, then yeah. So this is the part of the show where we talk about sports, but we also talk about real life. We talk about stuff that's happening in our community or just happening with us personally. So I'm gonna let my bro go first, and then I'm gonna clean it up, and then we'll be out your hair for the rest of the night.
I'll probably try to keep it what PG, at least I try. I don't let me just say this about yeah, I think I'll do this, man. I'm really sick. I'm really tired of players, whether you are involved in a major sport, with teams, or in a pretty much a self-centered sport as far as boxing, tennis, or anything that nature. I really hate when players, and I said I was gonna try to keep this PG, but I guess that's not gonna happen. But I'm so tired of people when they lose, man. Lose with honor. Stop being a bitch and just blaming everybody else. What the fuck the suit had to do with you losing? Like, come on, bro. Like that's the best thing is you got. Well, my leg hurt. My leg, something was really wrong with my leg after. Bro, stop. You got your ass whooped. It's okay to lose. I tell people all the time. Have you seen Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis fight? Mike Tyson faced look, he went through a damn war. Lennox whooped his ass. Lennox Lewis whooped Mike Tyson's
Don't forget about even before Lennox Lewis. Don't forget about Buster Douglas.
And Buster Douglas, oh man, look, man, Mike Tyson got his behind whooped. Ali, if you see Muhammad Ali's last fights, bro, you're talking about sad. If you look at Roy Jones Jr., look at his last fights, sad. It happens to all the greats. We live in a society now that everybody else.
I want to say one person that didn't happen to.
Go ahead.
I want to say one person that didn't happen to. That boy Money May. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I'll let you have a moment. I'll leave that alone.
But also if he keeps going the way he's going, Tyson Fury might be the same way.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like all the greats end up, having their day, man. Everybody gonna have their day. Every dog has their day, man. And I think we live in a society now where nobody wants to be embarrassed, and when you get embarrassed, you either want to start a fight, make excuses, or take a gun and kill somebody. So it's okay to lose, man. There's nothing wrong with losing. It's just how you come back from those losses that really, tells me personally, and a lot of people can say, like, you really, that's what makes a man. That's what makes a woman. You know what I'm saying? Coming back from those losses, and like Serena Williams, man. Serena had a kid, and like, man, she was looking bad. She was never going to regain her form, and she stuck with it, man. She had the blood issue. Venus had the blood issue, where it could have took her life, and guess what? She came back from that strong. So, I mean, it's okay. It really is okay to lose. And that little punk ass Wilder, he talks so much shit. You talk so much shit for years, like you was the big bad wolf, and then as soon as you got your ass whooped by Fury,
got your house blown down,
bro. Like got that, you got the house blown down. Like, bro, you can't do that. You can't talk all that shit, and then when you lose, you got 1,000 excuses. So stop all the damn excuses, man. You get your ass whooped, you get your ass whooped. You live to fight it.
You know what, Mike? And I don't want to cut you off. Just come back stronger, man. If you
just come back stronger.
Look, if I get my ass whooped like that, yeah, I'll be hurt. I'll talk a little shit, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I gotta get better.
Gotta get better. And that's really it, man. That's really it. Stop making all these damn excuses because you lost, man. It's okay. All right? It's okay. Even the greatest got his ass whooped, and he got embarrassed. We talking about embarrassed.
I remember even before the Holmes fight where he got beat. The first fight he had with Smoker Joe Frazier. I didn't watch that fight.
Yeah, that was.
So if you haven't seen that fight, it's on YouTube. Where Joe Ali was like, "Man, you can't knock me out," and Joe Frazier was like, "I'm knocking you out right now." And he hit the left hook. That was game. That was it.
Damn.
Ali out. So yeah, it has happened, but it hasn't happened to Floyd Mayweather. So we're gonna talk. We're good.
Technically,
I know how much Mike hates Floyd. So if I had a poll on who Mike hates the most, LeBron James would be number 2, and then Floyd would be number 1. So yeah, but Floyd, I like Floyd. That's my guy. You know, I'm team. I'm a money team all day.
Man,
so whenever Floyd fights, me and Mike have these epic wars when we go back and forth talking shit. So
I can't stand that dude, man. No. Go ahead, do your part shot. Do your part shot, man. Go ahead.
Oh man, you know what? I don't really have a part shot, man. I don't really have anything. I do. If you're to everybody that's listening within my voice, if you're a father, a black father, there are 2 Facebook groups that I'm in right now that I just joined. Black Fathers Matter and Black Fathers. Please join that. I just got into that group. A couple guys told me about that. We need to break the stigma that black men don't take care of their kids, and Black Fathers Matter. Definitely. And if you don't know the link, hit my inbox. I got you. I'll let you know where it is, and I'll direct you the right way. Number 2, I am watching. I've been looking back and forth. I've been watching the Lakers and the Pelicans right now. The Lakers are winning. They're up by 5. Zion did dunk on LeBron.
Of course, he don't play defense. I told you that.
Well, he didn't really dunk on LeBron. LeBron kind of did the Moses and part of the Red Sea.
Oh, he ran out the way. He ran out the way. Yeah,
he moved out the way. So, I don't have nothing to say, but LeBron's back in the game. Zion is sitting down, but LeBron's back in the game, so we'll see. I'm one of the ones that are very intrigued by the matchup, and also the fact of the matter is that Lonzo and Brandon Ingram are back in LA because they were former Lakers and now they're Pelicans now, and Anthony Davis was a Pelican before he became a Laker. So I know Joe B's listening right now.
Oh, he's there.
And he's been the one talking about this needs to be done. I don't really care. I do kind of care. But then I don't kind of care because I do kind of want the Grizzlies to make the playoffs so Ja won't get screwed out of his Rookie of the Year. Because I think Ja Morant will be a superstar, just like Zion will be a superstar. Ja will be a superstar. So I'm looking forward to it. So I will be watching that when I get off the air. Number 3, we have our shows. Our network is expanding. We don't have Red Cup Rants as well. We have other shows as well. We got Champagne Conversations. That happens every Thursday with LaDonna, Nikki, and Kim. We have Breaking the Stigma, which me and my brother Mike will be taking over until Dex gets his roots planted. It'll be us, and then our Canadian brother, our black brother, Matt will be joining us on that as well.
Oh yeah.
We got a Pride show on Saturday with Sean and Patrick. That's another good show that you need to listen to as well. I listen to it. I enjoy it. Brian will be coming on. He'll be I call Brian the X Factor because we don't know what he's gonna come with when his show gets ready. So I don't know what he's gonna come with. But I have heard the show and it's a great show. So that'll be coming on later this year. And then that guy, my brother Dex, my brother Phil, and my brother Matt will be coming with a wrestling podcast as well. So I know a lot of people been asking me about wrestling. They're like, why we don't talk about wrestling? Why we don't talk about...
Oh, we got you. Don't worry about it.
We got you. As a matter of fact, when Matt starts getting his footing down to do this thing, he'll do a hockey show. And I'm sure my BFF...
we got that. We got this screen. We definitely working on that.
Yep, we definitely gonna work on the hockey show, and I'm sure my BFF will jump in because she does the hockey thing as well. So we got y'all covered. We got y'all covered. So don't worry. SPN is expanding. I said 2020 is our year.
Make
So
sure you guys
make sure you
subscribe to
guys
the Strictly Prohibited Network.
Yep, absolutely. And Joe B, I already covered that. I said LeBron versus Zion. You missed that part. I already said it. So I already said that. Tune in. I said that LeBron moved out the way when Zion was dunking. He moved out the way. So I got that. But with that being said, SBN is expanding. So and also, if you want to do a show or if you want to come in as a guest, hit one of us up. You know, Mike's always welcome. Mike's always the guy that wants to welcome you to the Lions Den. So if you want to jump on, and come to the Lions Den or the Lioness Den, you come on. And this right here is my producer. This is our producer, my BFF, the brainchild.
Show out. Always gotta be the center of
No,
attention.
no, not that. It's just I had a parting shot. I need to get off my chest.
Go ahead. It's all you. It's all you. Go ahead.
Because I don't know what's going on. I guess because I changed my profile picture. Y'all randoms are gonna sit in friend purgatory. I do not accept people that I do not know or have not spoken to in some type of way. Like we haven't had some prior conversation in a group, maybe on, one of my homeboys, posts. If I have not spoken to you, I have not had a conversation, I'm just gonna leave. And you ask, and you don't come in my inbox because that's just gonna be death. Thank God that hasn't happened yet.
You'll be deleted and blocked.
It's not even that. I'm about to have fun with you. But I just don't accept random people because my page is my page. Like I protect my photos of my child, of my family, and y'all looking at this picture and probably thinking I'm single. I'm happily married to a crazy big guy.
And you know what? You don't have to worry about that because if somebody messes with my BFF, you gotta deal with me, you gotta deal with Mike, you gotta deal with Dex, you gotta deal with Kim, you gotta deal with Nikki, you gotta deal with her husband and Tariq, because Tariq knows how to fight. He doesn't know how to fight yet, but it's in his mind. He knows how to fight.
Actually, he knows how to fight because he says, "Let's pow pow."
He does know how to fight.
Yeah, so I'm just throwing that out there. And then 2, for the men that are taking care of their children. I think I said this before, but I want to give a shout out to y'all again because, woo, I've had some conversations.
Praise Jesus.
I've had some conversations, and I know there's a lot of ain't shit women out there too. So I'm gonna throw that out there too. There's a lot of ain't shit baby mamas. There's a lot of and they don't even realize they ain't shit. Smell the shit around you and realize, and because you probably don't realize why you're single. It might be from your attitude, from calling him ain't shit, from stalking his cell phone, stalking his Instagram, Facebook, from any of that. I believe your ass too if you did that shit to me. So I'm just letting you know I am proud of the men, all the men that take care of their child, because there are some ain't shit men out there, but like I said, there's equally some ain't shit women that some people don't want to mention. People don't want to mention the ain't shit women. They want only mention the women. Only want to mention the ain't shit men, but they never want to say one of their homegirls is ain't shit, or one of their cousins ain't shit. Let's just keep it real. Let's just throw it out there. It equals.
So
this is why.
Let them know what show. Let them know the show. Let them know the show.
Our show is Champagne Conversations. It's not going to be on this week. I think it's going to be on next week. We're trying to give time for them to move. So we got to figure that out. But the next one is more for women. It is about, well, it's not really for women, but it probably is going to be a good topic for men to listen to. It is why women date, and then when the right guy comes along, they push him away.
Lord. I might have to listen to that one. I might have to take off for work from that one.
That one. Yeah, that one's going to be pretty interesting because we have all women have done it, and I'm glad I listened to my gut on this one, on my husband because he was definitely out of my norm. But when I tell women, a little secret, I tell my friends that are single, stop dating the same dude.
Right, right.
Everybody has a type, but sometimes you just got to stop. You got to go out of your type.
Yeah.
Stop dating the same
Hello.
dude. Stop
Yup.
meeting the same dude the same. Stop meeting dudes the same way. Find different ways. Go to a grocery store. Go to, go to CVS. Go, go
That's one
stand
of
in
your nice
line.
friends. That's one of your nice friends, not the little. Never mind.
Yeah,
I'll just
don't
keep that
don't
in.
ask the one that has 5 relationships in 6 months. Don't ask her. We all have one on our Facebook. I'm stalking like three. It's pretty interesting trying to see if they're still in relationships or not.
Right.
But don't ask them.
Yeah.
Don't ask the people that aren't confident in their relationship either, because they're going to give you some ain't shit news, and they're going to give you some
Mhm.
ain't shit facts. I'm gonna keep it real. I
So
keep it real with all my friends. I keep it real with male, female. I'm gonna keep it real, and I'm gonna tell you if that relationship is something you should go for and you need to stay in, or if it's something that you need to run far away from.
true,
Yes. So
true.
like I said, we'll figure out the date. We're just waiting on those two to move, and we will let y'all know. But yeah, next topic is why women push the good guy away. And it's just like you can be men. I don't know too many men that push a right woman away. I'm not saying all. I'm not. Oh, your
Oh,
ass. Your
yeah.
ass. Put your
Oh,
hand
you saying
down.
all count?
No.
Put your hand down.
Anyway, anyway, this is the brainchild of SPN right here. My BFF Ladonna. This is the brainchild of it. So please listen to our show. And then I do want to say one more thing, and I feel so bad for forgetting this. Do you realize whose birthday is today?
Ric Flair.
Exactly.
Woo!
Woo!
Exactly. I just matter of fact, I was watching the Laker
How you
game.
forget
I,
that, Dre? How you forget
I
that?
forgot. I forgot because you know what? I was watching the Laker game. And he was at the Laker game, and they gave him a warm welcome. So I didn't even
Mm-hmm.
know. I didn't even know. So yeah,
Well,
happy birthday to the Rolex
71.
wearing, the Rolex wearing, crocodile wearing, jet set flying, all that shit, all that. Yeah. So.
I'm doing the walk. Yeah, just doing the walk.
Well, with that being said, we gotta go because we've been on here for 2.5 hours. Considering the fact that it was a dry sports week, we've been on here for 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta appreciate everybody listening to us. My man Mike, my big bro Mike, my BFF Lozano. We held it down, Dex. I know Dex checked in. I forgot to give his
Oh
comment, but
yeah.
he checked in. But we good. We good. Joe B, I know you. I know me and you. We butt heads a couple times, but I appreciate you checking in as well. So until next week, I'll see y'all then.
Bye.
Ugh.